Duke wants more history. Is 6 in a row possible?
They say the next big thing is here, that the revolution's near. But to me it seems quite clear that it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
Maryland is rolling at the right time, winning its last 4, primed to stop Duke and seal its own place in history.
I shadowed your husband. He's been a very busy boy.
It's championship week presented by 7-Up. Maryland facing Duke for the ACC Tournament Championship in front of 24,000 at Greensboro, North Carolina. We said at the beginning, it could be the best ACC tournament ever. So far, it has been. Games close at the end, full of great plays and memorable moments, starting with the play-in game on Thursday night all the way through yesterday's semifinals. Will it be history in the making? Will it be 6 in a row for the ACC's preeminent program? Or, after the greatest comeback in tournament history, will it be Fear the Turtle? Which is it, Dick?
I'll tell you one thing, Mike. Whenever you got Duke playing against Maryland, you got Mike Krzyzewski and Gary Williams. You throw out the window any stats, any seeds. It's all about the current moment. And this club is coming off an incredible performance in the second half. Maryland, John Gilchrist is playing phenomenal. Gilchrist and Duhan's going to be one heck of a matchup. Key player, J.J. Redick, struggling in the tournament. He was dominant in the 2 wins by Duke over Maryland.
Mike Patrick, Dick Vitale, Mark Jones is also with us. And Mark, everybody's still talking about that Maryland comeback. Most of them still don't believe it.
Yeah, you know what, Mike? A lot of Maryland people comparing this to one of the greatest comebacks ever in Maryland sports history, right up there with the football team's comeback against the University of Miami back in 1984 when they trailed by 31 points at halftime. Maryland yesterday, they just came out in a fog offensively. They were fuzzy offensively, rife with futility. Defensively, they were soft. Coaches said they didn't run their offense, but then at halftime, Gilchrist got the team together, and Gary Williams got in everyone's grill. He invoked pride of great teams of Maryland in the past, and they got it going. Gilchrist, 9 for 9 in the second half from the field, on his way to a career-high 30 points. This from a guy who was actually supposed to go to North Carolina State. Now, the Maryland coaches come into this game, guys, very mindful of the fact that there might be a potential letdown. They said that yesterday. They let their players know that, guys, don't look at this as an emotionally charged win, because remember, we only played 20 minutes today. And you know, Gilchrist says he told me he doesn't want his feelings hurt again at halftime.
All right, Mark, and here's the Star Watch, Dick, and Gilchrist was brilliant.
Well, I'll tell you, Gilchrist's going to hook up with Chris Duhan, who's a terrific defensive player. He's my Derek Jeter of basketball. Winner's mentality. He's won. You ready for this in his career? Mike, you're not going to believe it. 119 games. Put that in perspective. Divided by 4, man. That's almost like, you kidding me? 30 games a year.
30 points yesterday for Gilchrist, a career high. He couldn't miss. And Chris Duhon, the senior leader for the Blue Devils, right now he is on a mission. 8 assists, 17 points, played great defense. You cannot ask anything more of your defense. Gary Williams, what a great job at halftime yesterday. He said he didn't know if they really had a chance to win, but he made his kids believe. And Mike Krzyzewski has had them believing for a long time in Durham. He goes for his 6th straight tournament title today.
17-0 in tournament play, and 12 of them by double-figure digits.
McCray with the runner, and he draws the foul to start the game.
Well, the one thing you got to do if you're Maryland, you got to attack. In the 2 games, you're getting blown out at 86-63. J.J. Redick really lit him up for 20. As you look at the Maryland starting lineup,
Tanner Medley was really off yesterday. Jamar Smith re-emerged, and of course Gilchrist was exceptional.
Tanner Medley only had 4 points. He had 21 in a matchup down in Maryland when they lost 68-60. As you look at the Duke lineup, great backcourt. Duhon and Redick and Ewing.
Typical Mike Krzyzewski 3-guard offense, and McCray at the free throw line. Free throws could be big here. Maryland was 18 of 22 yesterday, and the Terps come out with the same kind of press that beat NC State in the second half yesterday.
Well, I'll tell you, tough to press this club. They handle the ball so well, and they finish so well. I think they'll be a very tough basketball team to try and trap and press.
But I think it's something Maryland has to do. They got so much out of it yesterday, and I don't know if they can play Duke head up.
I don't think that they can trap and win this basketball game, Mike. I really don't. I think that Duke handles the ball too well.
There's a steal, but Ewing couldn't hold it.
I think what he's doing by trapping early, I think psychologically he's trying to show his kids we're going to be the aggressor.
That's right.
I think it's a coaching move. As you take a look right here, there's the trap. We're going to move the basketball against the trap, get it right away, and then he knows how to finalize. Ewing was MVP last year of the tournament, had a great first-round game with 26 against Virginia.
He has 36 in 2 games. Nick Kaner-Medley.
They got to get him going. Kaner-Medley and Redick have really been very average thus far. He's going to give it up.
Redick, poor pass. Maryland will come back the other way.
Should have dropped the bounce pass.
Gilchrist guarded by Duhon. Great matchup there.
Gilchrist so strong physically. Had an outstanding game against Wake Forest as well with 16.
Smith over Sheldon Williams.
Smith inside, outside player. So quick. Be interesting to watch the matchup with Sheldon Williams, who was brilliant yesterday. Didn't have a foul, Mike. Didn't commit a foul.
Really played under control, dominated the boards. Ewing leans in, and he will get the foul from McCray.
You know, I got to believe Williams right now is the early favorite for MVP. When you look at Duke and on Maryland, it's obvious Gilchrist.
The officiating crew today, Carl Hess, Reggie Kofer, and Jamie Luckey. We congratulate them for earning the right to officiate this final game.
Trying to get some exposure for some new guys out there. Fred Barakat very happy with their performance as you look at Ewing, and I know Coach K's happy with the performance of this guy, so underrated.
Ewing misses a free throw. He's a 75% free throw shooter. And Carl Hess wearing a mic for us this afternoon.
Too bad he didn't have the mic on yesterday when he hit the tee on Coach K. I'd like to hear what he said. Coach K, I've had enough, baby. Here it is.
Well, you never know. It may happen again. Maryland up by 1.
I'm going to use some tees tonight when I get in that studio for 3 hours with Chris Fowler. I'm going to hit him with some tees.
Gilchrist gets by Duhon into the lane. Nice bounce pass from the layup for Garrison.
I tell you, what a nice 2-man play. Watching right in front of us the development of Gilchrist from the beginning of the year to now. It's amazing as you see this kid get better and better.
Well, you know, he got off to a pretty good start and then had a terrible slump in the middle of the season. And a lot of people were criticizing Gilchrist, saying he was the reasons for Maryland's slump. But he's come back at the end of the year and played great ball. And Gary Williams upset with this call. They'll change it and it'll be out of bounds to Duke.
I think the reason they got into a little slump was the ACC. The bottom line is
that'll do it to you.
Incredible. Here's Maryland as the 6th seed in the conference. Here they are playing right now for the championship. This conference from top to bottom has been absolute dynamite all year.
Maryland's been a different team the last 2 weeks. They've beaten NC State twice. They've beaten Wake Forest. Now they take on Duke. Reddick tries to get it inside. Here comes Smith, gives it up to Gilchrist. Garrison, streaky shooter, bombed that one.
I'll tell you one thing, you look at Maryland right now, they're not just happy being here in the final. They've come out here this afternoon with a purpose in mind, and that's to get that gold trophy. Last time they won it, 1984.
Been a long time. They lost to Duke in 2000.
That's when Lefty Driesell won it all and put that gold trophy, he put it on the hood of his car, and he said, I'm going to drive all around Tobacco Road. Right now, take a look. Great penetration by Gilchrist, and then he's under control as he drops the ball down to Garrison for the layup. And Gary's got to be happy. Look at him right now. Look at him. I tell you, is this guy coach? Does he have passion for what he's doing?
Former point guard for the Terps in his playing days.
Hope he never taught shooting. Hope he never taught shooting. He was a heck of a leader. Great basketball IQ. Started his career at Camden, New Jersey on a high school level. I was in Jersey at the time. In fact, Gary and I, in the same year, were able to win state championships.
In and out by Williams, and that rim has been a problem throughout the entire tournament yesterday. Team shooting at that rim shot 44%. They shot 59 at the other end.
Wow, that's interesting.
Strawberry is in for the first time as McRae sits down with a 2 personal fouls. This has been the good rim, but Smith didn't get it to the hole.
Right now, Duke's got to start to get some inside play. They got to get Williams going a little bit inside, because then that creates the perimeter game to really be outstanding when you get some play on the interior.
Maryland off to a great start with that 9-4 lead. Duhan, nice fake, had Gilchrist on the ground. Luol Deng with a miss. Terps fight for the rebound, loose ball. Tracked down in the corner and saved. Good play by Strawberry. Quite an athlete.
He's tough defensively. He's really improving on the offensive end as well.
Gilchrist, great crossover.
I'll tell you one thing, he can flat out score, Mike. He's got a scorer's mentality, certainly a contrasting style from when Steve Blake was running the show.
Maryland's hit 4 of its first 5, 11-4 Terps. Reddick out of the corner, nobody's fouled. That will be a 3-shot foul.
And that's like giving him 3 points, because he missed one yesterday. Usually if he misses one, he doesn't miss one for another 2 months.
Here's the problem with this rim, according to some of the observers. The ball just won't stay down.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. I mean, that baby was in. That baby was in.
And this is where Reddick missed his free throw, and that's a story in itself at this end.
And he doesn't usually miss one for another 2 months now, right here. I mean, you watch this. There's no way he'll miss one today. He missed one yesterday.
He's at 128 of 133 this year, and he gets 3 here. Reddick shooting 96.2%. That's second in the nation, and second best all time.
Mike Krzyzewski was a point guard as well. Played for the General. Oh, he missed another one.
Another one rattles out.
Oh, another one.
Ahead, Garrison.
I'll tell you, Garrison really playing well early. He's been the unsung hero here early in his game. He's got a special bounce.
He has 7 points, and Maryland off to a sensational start. They have 9 points in transition. They have always been at their best in a running game. Deng knocked it away, nearly stole it, but it's out of bounds.
They out-hustled Duke down the floor, beat him in transition. Garrison, who played at DeMatha High, one of the great programs headed by a brilliant guy at the time, Morgan Wooten.
Maryland's hit 5 of 6. They're off to a 13-6 lead.
Little different start than they had against NC State.
Gilchrist playing with unbelievable confidence, but he forced that one.
They have not allowed the ball inside yet to win. Great drive by Duhan. He does that exceptionally well, attacking the basket.
Gilchrist trying to push. Maryland has far more athletes than Duke does. This up-tempo is really good for the Terps.
I'll tell you, Smith inside, very effective, very quick.
Duhan,
he can
great
drive.
Slash.
I'll tell you, he can drive. You better give help in that lane to close off that driving angle. Interesting thus far. Weems hasn't touched the ball yet inside.
15-10. Smith back out to Garrison. Duhan just all over Gilchrist. And look at the speed right down the lane. Blocked by Deng. Knocked out of bounds out to the Terps.
They block a lot of shots when you talk about Duke. I mean, what matchups we've had with Duke and Maryland over the last 5 or 6 years.
The rims at this end appear a little tight. At the other end where Maryland's shooting, don't take it away from the Terps, but they might be looser. Maryland off to a 15-10 start, 15:05 to go first half.
Look at Gilchrist, I'll tell you, as he focused, he's got that winner's mentality just like Duhan, tough as nails. I think he can be a great running back. He's so strong physically. Makes right here, Deng right up there to meet him.
You know, we talked about the rims maybe being different at each end of the court. The good news is they switch sides at halftime, so it should even out.
Yeah, it evens out. You're right.
Smith, nice move to get inside. Can't hit it. Williams with a rebound.
Somebody's got to introduce himself to Mr. Williams and get him some touches. He had 20 and 18 yesterday and was dominant in the first game against Virginia. Has not touched the ball offensively yet, Sheldon Williams.
Well, Duke has 6 shots, and 4 of them have been taken by Duhan. And here's an offensive foul called against Duke. That'll be a turnover.
I think his tendency at times, he stands and watches the action. He's got to be a little bit more active on the interior. She'll look at the former point guard, Mike Krzyzewski. No way. Has he ever agreed with a call? Has Gary ever agreed with a call?
Of course not. They're coaches. They don't agree with the calls. Horvath picked up that last foul. Here's Kaner Medley. Goes inside. Williams and Horvath get the block. Who gets the foul?
I believe it's Williams coming over the back. He didn't have a foul yesterday. That was amazing as he dominated the action.
He had 27 points in the opening round, 20 points and a career-high 18 rebounds yesterday. The 27 points in the first game was a career-high scoring. So he's had a brilliant turn.
And he also negated the effectiveness of Luke Schencher, who was absolutely sensational earlier in the tournament.
Garrison hits the free throw, the sophomore from Suitland, Maryland.
I'll tell you, these Terps are ready to play. I saw it when I was by the locker room. They are not satisfied with being in the final.
Garrison had the first double-double of his career last night. 16 points, 10 boards.
And they were excited about winning yesterday, but they really didn't come here with the idea, well, we're content and we're in the final. They want to win and get that gold trophy. See, right now, you got in this possession, get a touch for Williams. Got to get the big guy involved.
Ewing had it slapped out of his hand. Ball's knocked out of bounds off of Smith and out to Duke. Dockery is in there for Duke right now, as is Horvath.
You know, J.J. Redick's out of the lineup right now, but he's found out in this tournament the respect he really has earned is the fact they're right up in his face. He doesn't get open looks that easily. It's been a tough tournament for him.
Williams, no shots. Luol Deng has only had 1.
They missed him. They had Williams posting right on the inside and missed him.
Duhan trying to penetrate, goes with the left hand and got it.
He makes big shots whenever they're struggling. He's been their Mr. Clutch guy.
16-12, Maryland. Abekwe got by Williams. Down the lane, Horvath was there. Offensive foul, Abekwe.
Yeah, out of control right there. Maryland, a very deep basketball team. Gary goes to that bench, got a nice young club. Gonna take a look right there. There's the charge. In position, Horvath, good call.
Redick is back in.
I mean, look at those numbers now. Those numbers are not typical of J.J. Redick. He was big against Maryland in the first 2 matchups. He had 20 in one game and 26 in the other, 46 points.
But in the first 2 games of this tournament, he has only scored 11, 5 in the first, 6 in the second.
Got himself in foul trouble, some silly fouls.
Really hasn't had much court time.
Maryland really digging in on the defensive end. They're really helping. They're communicating. They're active. They got live feet. You can see them bouncing.
Shot clock down to 10. Duhan trying to work around the screen. Kicks it back to Redick. Long 3 under pressure. Horvath, offensive rebound. Kicks it back to Duhan.
Good job by Horvath bringing the ball back outside. That was a hurried shot by Redick. It wasn't within the rhythm of his offense. See, right up in his face. They're going to make him have to beat him off the drive.
Boy, and Strawberry's a terrific defender.
He likes the challenge. You can see it in his eyes. He likes the challenge right now. Almost like Jackie Manuel loved the challenge of trying to stop him from North Carolina.
Shot clock down to 7 again. Maryland playing stifling defense. Duhan gets the runner.
He's the only guy that haven't been able to handle. He has not been able to handle him. He's 4 for 6 right now early in this game.
He has 8 points. Nobody else for Duke has more than 3. And the lead is down to 2.
All year long, whenever they've been struggling, he's made good plays.
Great pass inside, and Gilchrist takes advantage.
Gilchrist around the basket, very strong for a guard, very physical. Gary Williams got familiar with him. You ready for this? Told me today. Age 10. Went to his camp. Won an MVP award. But Gary said he didn't realize that I gave a trophy to everybody. He said he was excited he got his trophy.
Reddick. Too strong. Long rebound to Luol Deng. Good hustle, then he walked.
He shot that from Winston-Salem, J.J. Reddick.
Chris Duhan is carrying the load for the Duke Blue Devils so far, but they trail by 4 as Maryland has come out firing.
9 to go in the first half. Maryland leading by 4. I'm joined by Vivian Harper, the mother of Chris Duhan. Chris, off to a great start right now.
Yes, he is. He's playing well.
Big difference in his game between last year and this year at this time. What role did you play in turning his basketball performance around?
Well, all glory belongs to God because we prayed a lot, and he came home, and there was a lot of heart-to-heart talk between mom and son. Was
there ever a time where you thought that he might maybe even come out, maybe try something different to shake out of his slump?
No, basketball is in his heart, and a lot of it is on emotions, and he played with his heart all the time, and I just knew that, he just needed time to just adjust to what he was responsible for.
He's been having a tough time with his voice. Have you mixed him any homemade motherly recipes?
No, just a lot of honey and a lot of green tea.
All right, thanks a lot for joining us, Vivian. Guys, she moved to the Durham area to be close to her son when he attended Duke, working in finance back in the Raleigh-Durham area. Back to you guys.
All right, Mark, thanks very much. McCray down low will draw the foul from Sheldon Williams. That will be 2 on Sheldon Williams. And Gary Williams, the Maryland coach, continues to rotate players in and out. He's got Hassan Fofana in there right now, all 6'10", 290 pounds of him.
He's a big, strong inside guy who's going to get better and better. They do a great job developing their big people. Chris Duhan, I got a big kick about the honey and lemon. I use that all the time. In fact, I got it right here in front of me. I think my buddy Mark Jones needs some of my honey and lemon too. I'll tell you, that's a great recipe, but Duhan, he's been honey this year. There is no doubt about it. He has been absolutely sensational. He's my choice. I told you yesterday, Mike, if I were casting a ballot for the player of the year in the conference, it would be for Duhan for what he's done. Not statistically. We talked about Derek Jeter and his winner's mentality. This kid is a winner. 119 W's in 4 years as a leader on his club.
Boy, does Duke move the ball beautifully against the press. Dang, tough pass trying to get to Shavlik Randolph, and he missed him. The 5th Duke turnover in the first 8.5 minutes.
Can't make that pass from up there in that angle. You don't have the right angle. You got to go to the foul line extended and get the good angle for that entry. Those are all part of the little nuances of the game that you have to learn as a player.
Duhan took it away from Gilchrist, who got lazy with it. Dang, nice pass. Ewing. Fofana's right there to stuff it.
Duke has not established anything inside at all. They've been strictly perimeter and the driving ability of Duhan in this game.
And right now they don't have Williams. He's on the bench. Pull up jumper. What a shot by Gilchrist against Duhan right in his face.
He's just having one of those special tournaments like you saw when Wake Forest years ago, Mr. Childress
Randolph Childress.
He was on fire and carried him to that title. This kid is having one heck of a tournament, Gilchrist.
Dang kicks it back outside. Reddick. Shavlik Randolph fights for the rebound with Fofana on the floor. Dang is down there too. Reddick is only 2 out of 12 from three-point range in this tournament.
Well, now he's 3 for 16 in the tournament overall. 3 for 16.
Now watch this shot by Gilchrist. At the other end, those have been rattling out. At this end, it stays down, and we're not trying to say one guy's got a better shot than the other. It just seems to be the reality of these 2 different rims. Dang, got it.
Luol Deng finally gets on a board. A little jump hook on the inside. What a special diaper dandy he's been. along with Chris Paul. You can't put a better tandem in America as diaper dandies than those two.
Paul had 30 in a losing cause the other night. He was unbelievable. McCray double-teamed in the corner. Garrison can't save it. Knocked away by Ewing. And then Garrison with a little push on Duhan, trying to get his body in front so Duhan couldn't save it. And Duhan is still down. He went flying trying to get that basketball, and now they're calling for some aid from the Duke bench.
I mean, that's hustle. There's no doubt about it. That's leadership where you see it there. Watch this right now. Here comes Dang. He kicks the ball out. Garrison's got the lead on the basketball, but Duhan's coming from the rear. Diving. Wow.
Garrison may have gotten away with a couple there. And Duhan still down. And this is a guy they can't lose. He means too much to them, not only with his ability as a point guard and a defender and a scorer, a guy who makes big shots, but as a leader.
Oh, as a leader. He's a leader in that locker room. He's a leader in that he knows a little bit about winning. He was part of cutting the nets down his freshman year.
And there's his mom showing her obvious concern with this all-star still down. Duhan, obviously, first team All-ACC. Boy, he's in pain. Lord, you hate to see this.
It's amazing, this kid, the turnaround he made last year was up and down all year, came back. What a difference a year makes. You're right, Mike. We're not medical people, and we certainly don't know the extent of the injury, but it's very obvious the pain that exists there.
Boy, this is very sad to see Chris Duhan down like this. Watch the end of this play. He just went flying into that corner. And now the fans who are right down there applauding as Duhan appears to be able to get up, at least set up.
Fisher's coming over, getting the camera people away.
Everybody wants a good look, and of course the concern is Duhan's safety, not anybody getting a picture.
Yeah,
and go for that.
Get them all out of the way.
Get us out of there too. That's fine.
Just let the people work there that have to work. Exactly.
And they're telling everybody to give them space. Security doing a nice job here. And Duhan is up, holding his back and still in obvious discomfort. And he gets a great hand from everybody. Standing ovation.
Even from the Maryland faithful.
You bet.
That's a nice gesture there. All the Maryland fans standing up cheering for him as well.
They'll take him to the locker room, examine him, and hopefully be able to get him back in this ball game.
Something tells me we're going to see him again, just the way he's walking.
I hope so, Dick.
Yeah, something tells me we're going to see him again, Mike. As a mom. One thing is that Duke is very, very deep on that perimeter. Deepest team in America on the perimeter when you can rotate guys like Ewing and Dockery and certainly Reddick and Deng.
But Dockery doesn't give you any scoring.
No, he gives you defense.
Gilchrist again.
And right there, he didn't give any defense right on Mr. Gilchrist because I don't think it matters who's guarding him. That basket's like the Atlantic Ocean.
Gilchrist is in the zone of his life. He's hit 4 out of 6 today. 46 points in the first 2 games. Ewing, air ball, just touched the net on the way down. It's 24-16 Maryland.
Duke cannot win this game without Duhan. They're going to need Duhan in this game.
Gilchrist being dogged by Dockery, who's a tremendous defensive player.
There's a certain confidence you can see right now in Gilchrist's game, and it's really affected all his teammates as well.
Jamar Smith kicks it outside to Garrison, and Maryland on a roll.
It's become contagious. Everybody's stepping in. Oh, they're going wacky right now down at Bentley's, down at Green Turtle as well.
You know what? It doesn't matter about the rims. The rims could be the size of a golf hole, and Maryland would hit them right now. Maryland shooting 71%. Garrison is 4 for 4.
Nice pass out to Garrison, having a big afternoon. There he is, came in with a big-time reputation out of the high school ranks. He's dancing with joy. He's smiling. And Maryland faithful smiling, sea of red.
Today, championship week presented by 7-Up will conclude on ESPN at 3. Number 11, Texas against 7th-ranked Oklahoma State, the Phillips 66 Big 12 championship. It's also available on ESPN HD.
Well, we saw how they played, Mike, when they had to come from behind. Now we have to see how they play with the lead. Oklahoma State trying to get a #1 seed. I believe they lock it up if they beat Texas.
Gilchrist is as focused as anybody you will ever see. And now Dockery's going to have to take over that point guard spot. And I think Shavlik Randolph will be called for a moving screen.
Hey, Mike, I wonder why Sheldon Williams is out so long. He has been out of action.
The 2 fouls, Dick. I think that's what they're thinking about.
You know, yesterday he really didn't commit a foul, but he's got to 2, and they're afraid of the 3rd. But you're down double-digit right now and got no inside game whatsoever.
Duke did not have a single turnover in the second half against Georgia Tech yesterday. They have already committed 6 here in the first half against Maryland's pressure. Great pass by Smith. Even Gilchrist couldn't make that one, but he comes out with a loose ball.
You know, you look at the personnel on the floor right now for Maryland with Duhon and Williams out of the lineup. I mean, they're right now the better team.
Reach-in foul called, I believe, on Ewing. That's 2 on Ewing, and now Gilchrist comes up a little gimpy.
Very physical game yesterday with Duke and Georgia Tech. Gilchrist getting a little breather. Hit the table right there. Goes out for a moment. Gets a lot of hugs.
Duke basketball down 27-16, Maryland's biggest lead of the game.
Well, the big question now, where will Duke get offensive firepower? Reddick certainly potential. Dang.
How about this guy? Randolph, nice offensive rebound.
He's got to get a little active inside Randolph offensively.
Well, they could really use J.J. Reddick at this point. Dang, dribbling in against the double team, forces it up and got it.
That's a big-time shot right there because there was really no shot available. He created that opportunity.
He is so smooth.
Versatile, just like Battier was, and certainly Grant Hill, who's his idol.
This is Jones, the freshman. This has been Maryland's Achilles heel with Gilchrist out of there. They really don't have another good ball handler. Garrison, air ball. Boy, he is a streaky shooter. He can look like the best, and then he can take one of those. 7:59 to go first half. Do you believe this? Terps up by 9. Maryland leading the 4th-ranked team in the country, the Duke Blue Devils, 27-18 with 7:59 to go first half. ACC Championship, Chris Duhon hustling, trying to make a save. Falls hard on that left side, came up holding his back.
It's the camera as you see him make contact with the camera. There he's spinning. Leg banks into the camera. Walks off holding his back.
But he's holding the right side of his back. And it was funny because he went down on the left side, then he hit his leg on the camera. The right side, perhaps a muscle pull. We are trying to find out how he is right now back in the Duke locker room. We will let you know as soon as we get any information. And Dockery will come in to play that point guard spot. Dockery gives you great defense. Pretty good ball handler, but he is not a shooter.
Take a look at Maryland with 6 assists. 3 of them go to Jamar Smith, who only had 33 assists coming into today, but they're utilizing him to pass the basketball. Hey, Duke's got to find a way to get J.J. Reddick, and I agree with Coach K bringing in Sheldon Williams now. Even though he's got 2 fouls, you got to play him right now.
And there's Gilchrist on the bench. Gary Williams certainly has the luxury of leaving him out for a couple of minutes.
Smart decision by Gary Williams. Got a little half-court trap with Dockery at the point. Not the offensive player that Duhon is. As you said, though, so well, Mike, he gives you good defense, but he's limited offensively.
Nice move by Gary Williams here. He gets Strawberry back in the game to be on Reddick. Dang. Forced it up. Got it in the foul.
Big play by Dang. He's keeping him in the game right now. They are right in J.J. Reddick's face. And what they're doing really well against him is they've told Strawberry not to give any help. In other words, you play him head-to-head. There goes the ball inside. Look at the great hands and the great body control, the balance. Yes, great balance and great body control.
Dick, you can't give any help if you're guarding Reddick. We've watched it all year long. Guys will just turn their head and Reddick has an open shot.
Exactly. You got to stay right on him as Gilchrist back on the floor with the rock in his hand. This has been his court, baby. He's owned it here for 3 days.
27-21. Gilchrist jumper too strong. Horvath had the rebound, and then Abekwe got in there to tie it up. Possession arrow gives it back to Maryland.
What young talent on the floor. Young talent from top to bottom in the ACC. Look at Deng inside. Watch this move. I mean, he creates this off a double team with the spin, the fadeaway.
Inbounds to Smith. And Duke is rarely burned on a play like that.
And it's a lack of communication right there, and lack of focusing. Great play by Smith, though, to make that happen.
Williams.
About time to bring the ball inside.
No basket, but he's fouled.
He was such a really unbelievable player on the interior yesterday and the day before. Out of bounds play right here to Smith. They're jumping in, looking at Gilchrist, throws it right into Smith. I mean, are you kidding me? That's a no-no. That happens in the CYO, not Division I, big-time basketball, to a team that's won 5 consecutive ACC titles. And nothing wrong with CYO, but you learn at that level.
You don't want to offend anybody even in the CYO, right?
I love the CYO. I love the Boys and Girls Club. I was wearing a Boys and Girls Club tie yesterday.
What don't you love?
I love everybody.
I mean, you love basketball at every level, don't you?
I love it all, Mike. I love people.
Nick Kaner-Medley will have to go to the bench with 3 fouls, and he certainly has had a tough tournament, has not contributed offensively at all.
Yeah, he and J.J. Reddick have really balanced that out. Both guys have struggled.
29-23, Maryland with the lead. If you joined us late, Maryland started just this way.
Duke went into the zone.
Dockery with a steal. Strawberry's back. Dockery got the basket and the foul on DJ Strawberry.
And he's a little excited. The turnover came off, a rotation out of the man-to-man into the zone, which is very rarely played by Duke.
Now watch the foul on Strawberry. This is totally crazy. You have no chance to stop it. He reaches in anyway.
Yeah, give him the layup. Why reach in? Why reach in? That's a little momentum builder right there.
Duke on a 9-2 run in the last 1 minute and 36 seconds without their senior leader, Chris Duhon, who continues to be in the locker room getting treatment for his earlier injury. We're still trying to get some information about his status right now. We'll bring it to you as soon as we possibly can.
Dockery came out of high school with a big reputation out of Chicago. I am so impressed. I was looking last night from the ACC and all the teams with all the players coming back. What an incredible year it's going to be next season.
I mean, some teams are going to lose some quality guys like Duhon, who you said could be the player of the year in this conference. But for the most part, everybody is coming back. Mark Jones has some information on Chris Duhon. Mark?
Well, guys, an official has told me just a few moments ago that they are still examining him in the locker room. A result of that injury right there, he has bruised ribs, and they are evaluating as to whether they're going to take him for x-rays sometime very soon. They do have x-ray facilities here in the Greensboro Coliseum, but that's the word out of the locker room. Back to you guys.
And anybody that's had a rib injury, ribs get hurt. I know I had broken ribs one time in a car accident, and it was painful.
It was an ACC official that passed that information on to Mark Jones. Meantime, we had a foul on Williams, and that is number 3 on Sheldon Williams. He will have to sit down again at 6:39 on the clock. And Shavlik Randolph comes back in. That's big.
That is a monster foul right there. That is a big-time foul. With the third on this big guy, you've now negated any inside game for Duke. They have no inside game without him. Deng is capable of going inside with some post-up ability.
Jones misses the free throw. The freshman who got off to a really good start this year and is tailed off. Chris Duhon, that's what the applause is for. He is coming back out of the locker room.
And it looks like he's walking okay.
That'll be a nice lift for the Blue Devils.
I'll tell you the guy that's got to give a lift right now with Williams out is Randolph. He's got to get a little angry, a little mad. He's got ability. Number 42.
They back off Dockery because he doesn't want to take that shot. Reddick, shot clock at 4. Reddick against Strawberry. A tough matchup for Reddick. Leans in. What a shot. Are you kidding?
Oh, that that was acrobatic. What an acrobatic shot. Are you serious, J.J. Redick?
Against a brilliant defensive player who stayed at his face all the way down the lane, and he hit it.
The Duke Blue Devils are back, Mr. Patrick.
29-27. Smith with a miss. Deng with a rebound.
And he's made it happen. Rebounded. He made 2 great plays. The diaper dandy Deng.
It's an 11-2 run for the 5-time defending champion.
Get the ball at Deng. I would get it to Deng. He wants the rock. You got to understand when a guy is hot and feeling it as a guard.
The freshman jump step and foul. Foul was on Jones, and another ovation for Chris Duhon as he replaces Sean Dockery.
And the good news is the way he's walking. You don't see him limp at all. Seems to be moving fine. Take a look at J.J. Redick being played tough here by Strawberry. He was determined he was going to drive on that possession, and he just threw it up off the glass.
Duke actually had an 11-7 run with Dockery out of there. Or with Duhon out of there. Horvat, offensive rebound, and he draws a foul.
Horvat really has given him some quality minutes.
Foul was on Garrison.
I tell you, the momentum has gone Duke's way, and the reason I really believe is Deng set the tone for it. He really established it, and then was the steal by Dockery as well.
Horvat, the senior out of Minnesota, and the Blue Devils have only hit 7 of 13 free throws. Normally, they make more than the other team takes because of their style of play and their intelligence.
Because they attack so often. They attack off the dribble, attacking the basket. And usually the kind of personnel that can do that.
Exactly.
They get the creme de la creme, my friend. I missed those free throws. You got to convert.
Horvath misses them both, and trying for the follow, Garrison is fouled.
It was on Randolph, the foul. I tell you, he's been a mystery to me. I have seen that kid at times. You watch him, and you expect him to become a star on the collegiate level. Then there's other times he seems to be so passive and thinking all the time rather than just reacting.
Well, I think injuries wiped out a lot of his freshman year. Didn't have a chance to play as well as he could. And this is basically his freshman year. And then when you're a sub, you get even less playing time and fewer opportunities.
Well, what happens, too, as soon as you make usually a mistake or two, you come out where a star gets the luxury of all the minutes.
Garrison makes them both. 31-27 Maryland. The Terps have led from the get-go.
And after the conversion, they immediately go to their trap.
Get it to Duhon back in the middle and beat the press. And Chris Duhon appears to be moving just fine, thanks.
He was driving beautifully early in the game. He was the guy that was keeping him in the game.
Well, he has 7 points and had almost everything early. Deng has 8, and he's really turned up his offense. Deng had the tip, couldn't make it. Smith out to Gilchrist.
Gilchrist totally different than Blake last year. Blake was a guy that thought pass first.
Garrison. That was on the rim and tipped. That's basket interference.
Yeah, that counts internationally. You can interfere with the ball up there and play with the ball. It's not interference. On a collegiate level, that's interference. Good call. Good bit of officiating right here by Reggie Kofer and Carl Hess and company. That ball is definitely up on a cylinder. You cannot touch it up there.
Some of the fans thought a Duke player had touched it first. I think it was Deng, but he pulled his hand back. Redick, great drive. Couldn't hit it. Tough to go in from the left side, still use your right hand and make that shot. A 3 from McCray buried out of the corner.
That was a big 3 by McCray. They're forcing J.J. Redick to drive because they're right up in his face. He is not going to get any open looks from that trifecta.
Duke's made a couple of runs. There's a good look after the head fake. Couldn't hit it. Offensive rebound, Horvat.
Horvat hanging around. This kid has come out of nowhere. He was getting no minutes at all most of the year until the latter part of the season. Impressed the coach in practice. Now they rotate for the second time into the zone. Last time they went in the zone, there was a steal by Dockery.
You know, Dick, you don't look to that Duke bench to produce a lot of points or big plays, but they have today.
Well, they're going to have to with Sheldon Williams sitting out.
McCray from a mile out can't hit it. Not the shot Gary Williams wanted.
Well, especially coming out of McCray, but he hit one. We felt, hey, a little comfortable.
And he's got a Beckway up off the bench immediately after that shot. Randolph trying to penetrate back to Reddick. Duhan got into the lane. Offensive foul. Duhan lowered the shoulder, and that will usually get it automatically. And Strawberry is down.
There was no question about that call. Good call right there by Carl Hess. Duhan lowered his head and made contact.
ACC would like to take a moment to spend a special thanks to Gene Price.
Seen too many guys go down already today.
Well, guys are stepping in, taking charges. These teams play so hard. They play with such intensity, such emotion. Strawberry, the son of Darryl Strawberry. That's Gilchrist right there. Takes the charge.
Oh, Gilchrist rolled up on that right leg.
Rolled right into Strawberry.
He sure did.
Yep. Rolled right into his teammate.
Turned under him. That looked ugly. Strawberry helped off the court.
Let's go up. Everybody good shape. Get up. Get up. Way to hustle. Way to hustle. Help each other up. Let's go.
Little inside thoughts as to how an official helps control a ball game. Carl Hess kind enough to wear a microphone for us today for the ACC Championship final. You know, Duke is such a good passing team. It's unbelievable. They do not have an assist in this first half, and that's DJ Strawberry with ice on that ankle after his teammate rolled up on him on the collision.
I tell you, Duke is a different team when Sheldon Williams is now really participating and effective on the inside, takes away any post presence, and his effectiveness inside helps their perimeter game because he draws so much attention. He gives guys a better opportunity.
Jamar Smith just picked up his first personal foul. Duke in the last 3 minutes has hit one shot.
Nice pass. Got to take it up strong.
Tries to go to the other side of the basket. Had it blocked and put it back.
He's got ability, Mike. He's got all kinds of skills. He can go to the perimeter as well as the inside. Heavily recruited out of high school. Granddad was a superstar at North Carolina State. Lonnie Shavlik.
You could make the argument, as Duke with the leading offensive rebound, that Maryland has outplayed the Blue Devils in the first half, but they're only up by 3, and that was a bullet pass by McCray. Nobody was going to catch that one.
Gary Thomas, settle down, settle down. Gary Williams heading for the Hall of Fame eventually. Most likely Jim Calhoun this year. Eventually Jim Boeheim as well will join Mike Krzyzewski.
Dick Vitale.
Oh, I don't know about that one.
Offensive foul called against Duke.
You were voting, I got a shot. If I got you voting, I got a shot.
As soon as the check clears, you're in.
I got him voting for me. I got a shot as well because he gave me a hug today.
Shavlik Randolph picked up his third personal foul. Things getting a little bleak right now for the Blue Devils in that department. It was their fourth offensive foul of the half. Smith wheels into the lane, blocked by Randolph, who's third in the ACC in blocked shots.
I think Duke is very fortunate to be only down 3 right now.
Got it!
He's a big timer. They're not down 3 now. It could be tied up soon. Remember, they're going for a 6th consecutive ACC title, my friends. I watch Ewing right here with that strong drive. This kid is an outstanding player. Talented, did not make the first 3 teams all ACC. Did you look at Randolph, gave him some quality minutes? I love him. He's one of my favorite players right now, Ewing.
Oh, he's sensational.
I like
ties the game.
Gilchrist as well. I love Gilchrist's toughness.
The last time Duke lost an ACC tournament game was 1998.
Wow. That was
98.
That was the North Carolina in the final. And that year as well, they lost to Carolina twice in the same year. That's the last time they lost to the same team twice in 1 year.
Gilchrist, things get tight, he takes over.
Give me him, baby. I'd like him to play for me. He said no to North Carolina State. His mom and dad wanted him to go to North Carolina State.
Duhan passed on a shot, then takes one. Good rebound by Smith. Gilchrist just seems to make up his mind that this is my game. Look out.
Exactly. I'm in the game, man. Give me the rock.
Garrison trying to kick it out to Deng. Great defense by Duhan. Tremendous anticipation. Reddick got into the lane, doesn't get the roll.
He's got to finish the drive. He's getting to the basket, but he's not finishing the drive.
Ahead to McCray. Falling down, missed the shot. Rebound to Reddick.
Got numbers right now. Get it to the wing.
3-on-2, Reddick. Pull-up jumper won't go.
What a nightmarish tournament he is having.
Mike Grinnan is in, a very rarely used Maryland player, and there's a travel called against Gilchrist. Let's go to Mark Jones. He has more on DJ Strawberry.
Yeah, guys, as you can probably see, they've unwrapped that ankle, put some ice on it, but Maryland officials have refused so far to speculate or comment anything regarding his injury. They say that they will give us an update at halftime, but he does have no history of ankle problems with that right ankle. Back to you.
Thanks, Mark. Maryland 4 turnovers in the last 5 possessions. Still, they continue to lead by 2. Duke has not led in this ball game. Ewing, tough runner.
And he attacked the basket. He is sensational attacking the basket. He can make the perimeter shot. There's no doubt he'll play at the next level. This kid is becoming a star.
Ewing has 7. Maryland can play most of the half. Grinnan double team knocked out of his hands by Horvath.
Then he tried to make a little call. Ewing says, I'm going to be a referee too. But that was a good call right there to give the ball back to the Terps.
It's all part of championship week, presented by 7-Up. Mike Patrick, Dick Vitale, Mark Jones, our entire ESPN crew here with you for the ACC title game from a sold-out Greensboro Coliseum. We're tied at 36, 20 seconds to go in the half.
They're going to try to go to a little half-court trap. There it is. They're going to rotate out.
They want the ball in Gilchrist's hands for the final 12.
You don't want to foul here either. You know he wants to shoot the basketball.
Shot clock at 6. He got away from Denver, took the jumper. Tip won't go. And out of bounds with 1.8 seconds left.
I'll tell you, Gilchrist was determined. Just like that committee must be right now in their room meeting. What a job they're going to have in that committee.
I wouldn't want that.
Oh, to determine the seeds and also determine what do you do with the Utah State, Southern Illinois Air Force.
1.8 to go.
Oh, you don't lose foul there. That's
and that will be a 3-shot foul on Reddick.
That is absolutely a dumb play. That is a dumb play. I mean, I cannot believe an experienced player like that at that level would commit that kind of foul, especially on a guy that's not a great shooter. I mean, that just is absolutely not, that's just uncalled for.
Now, did he have a toe on the line? It looked... I think the edge of the left foot was on the line, so it will be 2 shots instead of 3.
But it's just uncalled for. I mean, you're a veteran, experienced player. See the foot right here. It's right there. He's touching the line. He's touching that line.
Well, a nice job of officiating to catch that one.
These guys have done one heck of a job. They really have done a heck of a job in this first half.
7 points for McCray. He has hit all 4 from the free throw line. And on a team that does not shoot free throws well, he shoots them exceptionally well.
Well, you hope as a player now you learn from a situation like this. I mean, you make a silly play, you got to learn from it. And J.J. Redick just made a silly play.
You know what was great for the Terps yesterday? They hit 18 out of 22 free throws. They don't do that.
Exactly. You know, Mike, it comes back to my argument that I don't really believe, I've said this time and time again, that most kids are aware of the score, the time, and the strategy of a game. They play, and they zero in, and they have no clue as to what is happening regarding the game situation.
I wouldn't argue with you. Right now, Duke with 1/2 second.
You always argue with me. You're not going to argue now?
No.
Why not?
Hey, you've been nominated for the Hall of Fame. I'm not arguing with you.
Being nominated and being selected is a whole different ballgame.
It's like the Oscars. It's an honor to be nominated.
It's even a better honor getting selected.
Long pass. Deng caught and tried to fire. Couldn't do it. Chris Duhan returns from an injury to give Duke a lift. But John Gilchrist has given Maryland a lift the entire ACC tournament. And right now he has them ahead in a championship game. Let's check in with Mark Jones with Gary Williams.
Coach, in the last game at halftime, it was fire and brimstone in the locker room. A little more subdued tenor maybe this time?
Well, I do whatever it takes, you know. That's what you are when you're a coach. You do whatever you have to do, so I'll think of something to say today.
Gilchrist give you another great offensive first half. Can he keep it up in the second half?
Yeah, John's in great shape. You know, as long as he doesn't get hurt or nicked up or in foul trouble, I think he'll be okay.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Guys, back to you.
All right, Mark, an exciting first half. The underdog Terps have a 2-point lead, 38-36 over the Duke Blue Devils. Now, the 7-Up halftime report. Here's Chris Fowler.
All right, thank you, Mike and Dick. Welcome. Joined by Digger Phelps, Jay Billis, and Steve Lavin, a distinguished group here who are applauding the plan and the execution of Maryland's defense in the first half.
Yeah, Maryland's guarding them out to the three-point line, making Duke put the ball on the floor. That's why their assists are down. But that opens up the offensive glass for Duke, so Maryland's got to block out, do a better job of keeping them from getting second-chance points.
Yeah, when you look at Maryland, such a young team, an athletic team, a very quick team, already 6 wins over the top 25 and a 4th rated strength of schedule. And this team just keeps getting better. If you look at the NCAA tournament, with each game they improve because they're so young.
Yeah, I just thought Coach K did a great job when you go back and look at the 6+ mark with Duhan out of game. He goes to a 2-3 zone. That sort of confused Maryland. And after being down double figures, that's how Duke got back in this game at the halftime.
Maryland's energy, a big issue in the second half after the draining comeback yesterday. Championship week has a new hero when he plays for Lehigh, and he's a freshman. They were tied with American for the Patriot League bid on the line. And look at Jose Olivero. Unbreaks the tie at 59-57, 3.9 to play. Here's the heave for America. They leave the guy unguarded. This is Matej Kresnik, wide open for the win. Doesn't get the shot to drop. Lehigh wins the Patriot League bid on its home floor. And they sweep 3 games from American. History says the Patriot League champ a likely 15 seed or so. Our seeds at stake in the Big 12. We'll preview the battle between the Longhorns and the Cowboys coming up next on ESPN. And we'll check in on Kentucky and Florida for the ACC Championship.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of Championship Week is presented by 7-Up and your local 7-Up bottler. Make 7-Up yours. And in part by Saab. Welcome to the state of independence.
Duke going for a record 6th ACC championship in a row. Maryland in the way. The Terps lead it by 2. Dick, the first half had a lot to do with injuries.
Yeah, it was real physical out there. Just to take a look at Duhan. I mean, going in and getting injured, and Gilchrist went down, Strawberry went down, very physical play. Also shutting down Reddick, who was 1 for 8. But I got something that'll blow your mind. Think about this, as Reddick really struggled in that first half. Actually, he struggled now for 3 days. Then made a silly foul. Well, Mike, you ready for this? Duke is 0 for 7 from the trifecta. They're shooting 53% from the foul line, and they have 0 assists, and Williams is out with 3 fouls. And then right now, are you kidding me?
And Williams just lit it up with the slam.
And they're tied. Can you believe that? 53% from the foul line, 0 for 7 from 3, and no assists.
Smith, baseline, draws the foul. Let's go to Mark Jones. Mark?
Well, guys, you saw one of the adjustments Duke plans on making here in the second half. Amongst other things, the most important thing Krzyzewski and his staff talked about, going to Sheldon Williams early. So they want to get him off here in the second half. He didn't get big minutes, limited minutes, actually, because of the foul trouble. They need to finish better underneath and tone up on their foul shooting. Just 8 of 15 from the foul line in the first half. Guys, back to you.
You know, Mark, no doubt about it. I was talking to Mike about that, and also to William Roden, the fine writer from the New York Times, about how they're a different team when Sheldon Williams is effective inside. He stretches the defense. But he came out a little passive, had a couple silly fouls, got himself into foul trouble. That's been the story of his career in a way, getting into foul trouble. And yesterday had 0 fouls.
Maryland is shooting 79% for this tournament from the free throw line. They came in the worst of the ACC, and Duke has just taken its first lead as Ewing buries a 3.
First 3 they've made here this afternoon. Mr. Ewing. No, his name is not Patrick, and he's not J.R. Ewing. He's Daniel Ewing.
Smith. Terps come right back.
I tell you, he's been so effective inside. That sat the pine last year, got limited playing time.
came out of junior college, the same school that produced Stevie Francis.
Allegheny.
Smith, double team, now triple team, forced it up, didn't get it, but tipped it in. Williams, what an effort.
They go into the landlord inside. They said, hey, big fella, we're going to bring it to you. As Mark said, so you got those guys that work like Mark Jones on the sideline, get all those little tidbits. You got it right from Coach K. They're going to go inside.
Maryland doing the same thing. Smith turnaround jump shot, Deng with a rebound.
That's smart play. They want to get the fourth on him, Mike. They want to get the fourth. Remember we saw him with 4 fouls against Georgia Tech?
Deng for three, and Duke is coming out smoking.
Start to make that three. And I really believe those open shots happen because of post presence. When you have post presence on the inside, it stretches out the defense.
Gary Williams, a 30-second timeout, 46-42. Duke has taken the lead.
Welcome back to Greensboro Coliseum, everybody. I'm Mark Jones. Duke now with a 46-42 lead, and the Blue Devils' fortunes almost changed for good when Chris Duhon, we are told now, suffered bruised ribs. They do have x-ray facilities here. The x-rays, though, proved to be negative. That was the scene when he came back to the game. Now, as for DJ Strawberry of Maryland, Maryland still not issuing any sort of comment as to whether he'll return to the game, but certainly right now, guys, doesn't look good, and they'll certainly miss his energy. Back to you.
And they'll miss his brilliant defense, Mark, on J.J. Redick, who has really been held down.
Well, the two guys have been held down, Kaner Medley and J.J.
McCray knocked out of bounds out to Duke. The Blue Devils trailed at the half. They have been behind 4 of the last 5 games they've played in the ACC, and they've won them all.
Maryland very active defensively all afternoon, really moving their feet quickly, helping out in the lane, communicating with each other. Trailed at halftime. Take a this, 5-0.
5-0. They were down by 2 here. Redick.
Nice pass.
Bounce pass to Deng. Missed the shot that drew the foul.
Great look by J.J. Redick. That little bounce pass. Dropped it to Deng. One thing about him, he's still got a little bounce to his game, even though he's been struggling for 3 days.
He told me at the beginning of the season that when he had the leg injuries and wasn't shooting that well, he knew he would have to pass well and play defense. Otherwise, he wouldn't get on the court. And he's doing it here this weekend.
He really is. He's passing the ball fairly well. I love this guy on the free throw line. Every year we get so many good freshman players. He comes up empty. You know, talking about New Jersey, last night I went to dinner with Howard Garfinkel, a 5-star. You ready for this one? He said, Carolina's got a kid coming in, J.R. Smith. He said, you can quote me. He said, I'm telling you right now, he's better than Rashad McCants now. Ooh. Can you believe that? He said he's a human highlights film. He's the best dunker since Dominique Wilkins.
Smith with a runner.
And as Smith showed his quickness, that's hard to believe. He's going to North Carolina, J.R. Smith.
Well, I can't wait to see him.
St. Benedict's High School in New Jersey, Newark, New Jersey. Garfinkel knows what he's talking about, too.
Redick trying to get away from Kaner Medley.
Nice pass. Nice pass. That's what he talked about, adding a little part of his game. Came off a little dribble penetration. Dumped down. All of a sudden, Williams has become a major factor offensively. They're trying to attack him. Right now, they'll bring the ball into Smith. He's got 3 fouls. They switch on him. They got Deng playing him now.
Gilchrist, circus shot.
I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, that's acrobatic. I mean, that is incredible. A little spin, a whirl in a lane.
Where are the elephants?
It's circus time out here, baby. A little Ringling, Barnum, and Bailey time.
Gilchrist has been unbelievable for 3 days. Redick, J.J. trying to take over, missed the shot. Williams couldn't get the rebound. Here comes Gilchrist.
He's made 4 strong drives, but has not been able to finalize and taking the ball to the goal.
Smith back to Gilchrist. Nice anticipation by Duhon and Deng.
Does a great job.
Redick
that's
open.
That's open. Usually,
and he missed it.
Usually that goes down. That's wide open. He's 1 for 10, man. He's shooting like I would be shooting out there.
J.J. Redick's point production from outside has dropped off. He has fallen to 5th in the ACC in long-range shooting after being #1 for most of the year. He has struggled lately. McCray and Reddick bang together. McCray blocked by Williams, who just stood flat-footed, and then Williams comes up with a loose ball.
McCray got away with one. He made contact with Reddick.
Ewing, pull up, got it.
He's big time. He's big time. I'll tell you right now, if I'm starting a team, I want him to play for me in college. Daniel Ewing, man, a winner, a kid that can make the perimeter shot, attack the basket.
That's what makes Duke so tough. Reddick is off. Ewing picks up the slack. Somebody else is off. Someone else comes through to pick up the slack.
That's the big rebound by Williams. Ewing's got 14 points, had 26 in the opening game.
Kaner Medley hasn't been able to score in 3 days.
Yeah, he and Reddick both.
And right now they're guarding each other. Ewing, same spot. Out of bounds to the Blue Devils with 14:48 to go in this championship game. The guards have been brilliant in this game, particularly Gilchrist. You must be kidding. And Ewing has given Duke the lead in this game.
Wow. We're going to take a look at a two-man game here and how to try to get the ball to the interior. Here's Duke right now. J.J. Reddick squares up. They attack him. Don't allow him to shoot. Now he's going to penetrate. Here he is right now whirling. Freezing. See, right now, he makes a mistake. He steps out. He releases, and he gets him a layup. Watch this. Williams releases, and there's the dump down. Smith's teammate didn't help him out. Medley should have rotated over. As you look at J.J. Reddick.
Looks like J.J.'s nursing an eye.
And one of the adjustments was to bring the ball inside, and have done a great job of it, as Mark Jones said. I got to help Mark out with that throw. Mark, you want some honey and lemon, buddy?
Chris Duhan's mom is mixing some up for me right now as we speak, Nick.
I was trying to mix some up for you here. What, you take hers over mine? Come on now.
I just kind of trust her a little bit more, thanks. Chris is speaking volumes right now with his play.
Could I get something with a little umbrella in it? 14:48 to go. In this championship game, Duke going for its 6th consecutive tournament title. Ewing, nice dish, dang, bobbled it and then got it in.
They do, as well as anybody in America, the art of dribble penetration, get help, and dump the ball off. First half, they're 0 for 7 from the 3. This half, Duke is 3 for 5. No assists at halftime. They've already got 4.
53-46. The lead is 7.
I got Marty, man. He's got all those stats. He keeps pushing. People think I'm a genius with that stuff. Guys say, where do you get that?
Gilchrist couldn't hit the shot. Look at the hustle trying to get the rebound. Gilchrist was pushed, and the ball was knocked out of bounds off at Duhan.
Hustle, 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 man. It's not about stats. It's not about seeding. It's about pride right now. Maryland trying to get this trophy as you watch the ball inside. Look at the dump down. There's the catch by Deng. Played in high school with Charles Villanueva. Congratulations to Connecticut on winning a Big East against a really good Pittsburgh team. Jim Calhoun, Okafor back, 11-13 last night.
Smith with Horvath on him, wants to get the ball back to Gilchrist, and Dockery is in to play man-to-man on him.
And try to play off him. He knows he likes to beat him off that dribble, but he can shoot that jumper as well.
Great fake to get away, then it goes in and out, tipped in by Abekwe.
Abekwe with those great legs, long arms. Hyper Dandy's got a heck of a future.
Maryland shooting at the tight-rimmed end of the court in this half.
That's bad news.
If indeed that's the case, or is it just our perception? Ewing, nice fake to go to the baseline, all the way underneath to Dockery. Abekwe chasing it down, knocked it out of bounds, and it's out to Duke.
Hasn't Dockery tried to be a little bit more aggressive offensively, or is it just me thinking of?
No, he is.
He really is trying to shoot the ball a little bit more often, try to be a little threat out there. Teams have a tendency to play totally off him in 5 against 4, so he's trying to say, hey, look, I can put some points on the board.
Reddick is back in.
Nice when you can rotate a situation, bring in a guy like Reddick.
And Duke is just pounding Maryland on the offensive boards today.
That means you're playing aggressive basketball. That stat with the block shots, you force turnovers.
Good defense by Garrison.
Means you're aggressive.
McCray had the 3 that forces it against the double team. Not a good shot.
Now, that was a bad shot right there. You got to really understand what a good shot is, especially when you play against a team that's a favorite. You got to be able to make certain that you take good shots.
One of those deals you make up your mind you're going to shoot in advance, and then no matter what happens, you shoot it anyway.
That's a no-no.
Duhan, tough shot.
He drives so well. I guess that those ribs look like they're okay, baby. They look like they're fine to me. I tell you, can he drive? 119 wins in 4 years. The leader, Mr. Battier, won 131.
Duhan has 10. Smith short on the little jumper. Reddick running the court. What a pass by Duhan.
He'll make that layup. He'll make that layup. That's Duke in transition, baby.
That was a remarkable chest-high pass. Half the length of the court, hit him in stride.
You know, my Final Four, Mike, certainly includes the Duke Blue Devils because of their perimeter game. I also love the Kentucky Wildcats, the defense they play. I love Gonzaga as well. As you look at Duhan with the great lead, Mr. Reddick says, I'm not missing that one. I'm not missing that layup. I'm going to take a look right here. Taking it up strong. And I'm going to tell you, if Mr. Okafor is healthy as you watch the drive by Duhan, you got to certainly consider Connecticut. And my Rip Van Winkle, I'm going to Chapel Hill for North Carolina.
Duke has outscored Maryland 21-10 in this half to regain the advantage after being down by 2 at the half. Championship week presented by 7-Up concludes today on ESPN. Number 11 Texas against number 7 Oklahoma State for the Phillips 66 Big 12 Championship. That Big 12 Championship game also available on ESPN HD. Show you how bright I am. I get an HD set, and I've been out of town virtually every weekend since I bought it. I haven't gotten to see anything. But hopefully, you know, the mice in the basement will get to watch.
I'll tell you, Mike, what a great time we've had here. And that committee must be meeting right now. And they're talking about number 1 seeds. I think the bottom line is they got to wait to see what happens with Oklahoma State, Kentucky. You take a look right here. See, I changed that right now. That was yesterday. Because Pittsburgh got beat, man. Pittsburgh's got to slide to a number 2 now. The big question is Oklahoma State can slide in there, or also St. Joe's if Oklahoma State gets beat.
You made a great point earlier in the week. What is the difference,
Exactly.
except your ego, between a number 1 and a number 2? You're going to play the same kind of team.
Oh, I agree, except maybe a slight little difference in a 15-16, but not much, obviously. If you're good enough to win, you're going to march on. I think it's all about pride factor, but I think today's games are so important. Those were my number 1 seeds yesterday. Certainly Pittsburgh getting beat, they dropped to a number 2.
Mike Brennan, number 21, is in for Maryland. He is the only remaining player from the 2002 championship team.
And what a team that was. Juan Dixon and company. Remember the one game we had here a couple of years ago was incredible when James made a tip-in to win the game, Duke against Maryland. It was incredible basketball in the tournament semis.
Garrison, they need his outside firepower, and he delivers. You know, I just saw your new list of number 1s. You change those about every 15 minutes, don't you?
You know, yeah, how March Madness, everything changes every day. Minnie, I think the toughest decision, what do you do with Air Force, Utah State, and Southern Illinois? I think they deserve to be in.
Reddick, nice drive.
He's starting to really drive to the basket. He should work on that all summer. He adds that dimension. They have to respect his drive. He'll get more open looks from the 3.
59-51. Smith. Boy, he has been tough the last 2 weeks of the season.
You know, last year he played behind Ryan Randall, who really developed after replacing Lonnie Baxter. That's why those coaches do a great job. I think Fofana and also Bekwe are going to be heck of a players. Dickerson and Patsos and Kavarik on that staff do an excellent job for Gary, working with big people.
Ewing, guarded by McCray. Reddick again. Got it.
He's starting to drive and finish now. He's starting to finish. That's going to lead to some open 3s. You mark my words. He's going to get some open looks now because of his driving ability.
He just ate up the defense the last couple of possessions. McCray with a tough off-balance shot. Dang, nice block out underneath and gets the rebound.
Starting to see Duke take control of the situation right now.
It's a danger area right now, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And it all starts with the guy with the ball in his hands. And he gets
nice steal. Gilchrist. Duhan with a hard foul. Gilchrist goes down, made the basket, and drew the foul. What a play by Gilchrist.
Great play by Gilchrist, but I've seen 2 bad plays by Duke now by their veteran players. Reddick in the first half making that silly foul with less than a second. And right here, you got to let him have the layup. You got to let him have the layup here. I know you're going to be determined. There's no way he's catching him here.
To me, Gilchrist is the best player in this tournament this weekend. He has been absolutely brilliant. 16 points, 6 assists in the first game, 30 points, 7 assists yesterday. This afternoon, 14 points and 4 assists. He has been spectacular.
Not going to get an
Mom
argument.
and Dad agree, don't they?
I agree as well. You're not going to get an argument from me. That's his third foul.
61 to 56, 3 on Duhan.
Silly foul. I tell you, Mike, some big-time adjustments at halftime. Dish the rock, baby. Get the ball, make the extra pass. And that's what they're doing here, making the extra pass. Showing Duke basketball, be a little unselfish. And what has it led to? Think about this. 0 assists they had at halftime. 0. Now they come out, they got 5 assists. What a difference. Take a look at these numbers. I mean, 0. That is so unusual to see a 0 there for Duke at halftime.
I wonder how far you would have to go back in Duke's basketball history under Mike Krzyzewski to find a half where they didn't have an assist.
Well, you know, it's amazing. They were only 2 down, shot 53%. 53% as you look at Wojo and Collins.
These guys could set each other up, couldn't they?
Oh, what about Johnny Dawkins?
Oh.
He didn't need anybody to set him up. I'll tell you one thing. To shoot 53% on the free throw line, go 0 for 7 shooting threes, no assists, and you're down 2.
Not bad. They're up 5 right now at the 10-19 mark. Duhan against Gilchrist, been a great matchup every time they played. Deng double team back to Duhan. Gilchrist left in for the double team. Duhan can't make him pay for it.
I'll tell you, Gilchrist is not going to let this team get away. They're going to hang. This kid is too tough today, man. He's been tough all tournament. Is there any doubt he's all tournament?
Oh, no.
You'd have to have an investigation.
When it comes down to a clutch play, he's the guy that takes it on his shoulders. McRae with a hanger in the lane, too strong.
If he's not all tournament, you better make a call to Johnny Cochran and get a lawyer real quick.
I'll pass on that call.
You'd want to pay the bill.
61 to 56, 9:36 to go in the championship game. Ewing slices in, really hammered as he got down the side of the lane.
What a difference. They were so passive offensively in the first half. This half, they're attacking the basket.
Foul was on Garrison. That was his third. Tonight, ESPN will have the exclusive unveiling of the women's championship brackets. 5 Eastern, Reese Davis, Nell Fortner, Stacey Dale Schumann break down the women's NCAA championship. Sports Center then comes up at 6, and at 7, my buddy Dick, Chris Fowler, and Digger Phelps will break down the men's tournament. The NCAA men's selection special, say that 3 times, presented by Staples. Duke is shooting 44% at the line. I mean, the numbers are just reversed from what you would expect these teams to shoot.
Obviously, unbelievable, shooting very poorly. You mentioned that show. It's going to be 7 to 10 tonight. Hope Chris and Digger give me a chance to say something tonight. If I can
that
get
might
there,
happen.
If I can get there, though, Mike, you're going to get me an escort to get me out of here? I mean, I got to get to a plane, fly to Bristol.
Life's tough, isn't it?
Oh, wow, somebody's got to do it, I guess.
Nice catch by Smith. Gilchrist back into Smith. There's a nice double team. Leaves the Beckway open from 15. Can't hit it. And Williams snatches down the rebound.
They've been able to keep Williams on the floor, not getting that 4th foul, and that's certainly big.
And it hasn't been for lack of trying by Maryland as they tried to get the ball inside and draw it.
Exactly.
9 points, 8 boards for Williams. Gets it low, trying to go under the basket, reverses with the left hand, tipped it himself, knocked away, taken by Gilchrist.
I think he tried degree of difficulty, thought he'd get an extra point.
Nice dish by Gilchrist. Smith trailing the play and jams.
What a great trail play in transition, and Gilchrist with the great eyes spots his buddy. There he is running the court. Smith has really made himself a pro potential player. He has definitely got a chance to play at the next level.
16 points for Smith, 5 assists for Gilchrist. Ewing being dogged by McRae. Redick. J.J. Redick can't buy a 3 right now.
And as long as this guy's got the ball in his hands, good things are happening.
Kaner Medley saved that loose ball. Maryland would love to think he could get him a bucket or 2.
Has not been able to score 2 days. I'd like to get up at the end of the game yesterday getting 4. There he is, got an opportunity.
Lowered the shoulder and got a break because Reddick will be called for the foul.
He's also
99% of the time, you lower your shoulder like that, it's going to be an offensive call.
Also got a break. He's a left-handed player, and he's going to the left. So he's got the ball in his strong hand. Going to see him a little curl move. There he is, comes off the curl.
I think that's an offensive foul.
Yeah, I agree with you. He definitely lowered the shoulder, but he got away with one. You know what? He deserves a break. How tough it's been for him.
Kaner Medley will go to the line, 64% on the season. Makes them both. No. 62-60 with 7:53 to go. That was his first field goal in 2 games.
Unbelievable to believe that. At 21 against Duke.
Bad pass, knocked away, stolen by Maryland, and a foul.
Every time it looks like Duke is starting to take command, Maryland makes the big play. Reminiscent of the game you and I had when Georgia Tech beat them to end their 41-game win streak. They couldn't get away from the Rambler run.
It's a 2-point championship game.
SEC update, Kentucky closing in on a 10th conference championship in the last 13 years. Chuck Hayes with 19. The lead is 21 with 7:13 to play. Up next, the Big 12 championship. Brandon Mouton had the game winner against Oklahoma, then 10 straight points against Kansas. Texas, Oklahoma State is up next on High Definition.
Chris, here in Greensboro, we have Carl Hess wired for the championship game.
You showing out, ain't you, baby?
I'm trying to. I'm just trying to make a name
Keep
for myself.
working.
Thank you.
It's a great tournament. Having a good time?
Unless you have been around this game, you don't understand the interplay between officials and players. It's a neat thing to see.
Well, you know, Gilchrist is having a great time. When the ball's going down like it is for him, that'll bring a smile to your face. He is showing out. There's no doubt about it. Like the terminology from the Zebra.
Smith trying to drive. Will draw the foul. If that's on Horvath, it's his third. Duke built up a 9-point lead and appeared to be pulling away, but Maryland has cut it to 2, and the Terps have the basketball with 7.5 minutes left.
They have been such a tough team mentally down the stretch. Winning 4 in a row, had to win that big game against North Carolina State on the road just to keep their hopes alive for a tournament, and did it.
Kaner Medley lost that ball on the way up and sort of palmed it into the front of the rim.
Reddick's been driving with the basketball. 3-point shot not there today. Duke right now in a real drought.
Good move here by Mike Krzyzewski. Spread the floor a little bit.
Trying to go to that dribble penetration. Come off the screen of Deng. There it is.
Reddick down the lane. Basket and the foul.
He is really attacking the basket here in the second half, and he's completing the play. First half he was attacking, but he was not finalizing.
DJ Strawberry, who was hurt earlier in the ballgame, is back in there as the defender.
There's Reddick taking it up. Good body control. I'm going to tell you, Mike, he adds that dimension to his game. He'll have himself an incredible year. 4 driving layups in the last 5.5 minutes.
Takes him away from being a one-dimensional player. And Strawberry back out there with that bad ankle after he hurt himself into Reddick. The 3-point play, the lead's back to 5.
Because everybody's going to attack him right up in his face and make him drive.
And now you've got to lay off a little bit with that great stroke from the outside. He can just be a killer.
Becomes a major factor out of that driving game. He's got Gilchrist no match here defensively. Yeah, Gilchrist give up the ball. Look at Reddick taking a challenge to play Gilchrist.
Kaner Medley from a mile outside. Missed everything. McCray with a follow. Ewing blocked it. And there is the ever-present John Gilchrist. Shot clock down to 7.
They switched now. They got Ewing on Gilchrist.
Nice head fake to get inside. Doesn't get the roll. Kaner Medley missed the tip. Boy, some good looks for the Terps, and it wouldn't fall. Boy, you gotta love Gilchrist, though.
Oh, he's terrific. He's absolutely been terrific through the entire tournament. You don't have to worry about making a name. He's made a name.
6-12 and counting.
Trying to win 6 consecutive tournaments. Hey, Kentucky on fire. I saw the score. Chris Fowler talked about it. I'm telling you something. They have peaked at the right time, Tubby Smith's kids. Will it be deja vu again? San Antonio? I mean, that's where he won his first title.
We talked about the rims in the first half, how they all tournament long they have seemed tighter at one end than the other. There is J.J. Reddick missing one. This half. Now in the second half, Of course, you could argue they're better shots, too.
Yeah, they really are. Laying it on the glass, I mean, those are better shots.
You'd have to go back through Thursday night and see which rim statistically comes out tighter. But as we pan down to the right side, this is the rim that has certainly seemed to be much more favorable for every team throughout this tournament. Coming up next, 3:15 Eastern, the Phillips 66 Big 12 Championship. Number 11, Texas. Number 7, Oklahoma State. Of course, the one thing you don't want players to do is worry about how tight the rims are.
All right.
Just shoot it.
Hey, I like Oklahoma State. Lucas and Allen.
Ewing, basket in the foul.
They're just attacking the basket. Dribble penetration, attack, attack, attack. That's their modal offensive operandi, baby. Just attack the basket. Utilizing their great dribble penetration ability. That's part of the offensive system. Part of Duke for many a year.
That's why they draw so many fouls and shoot so many free throws.
You know, a lot of teams can try this, but they don't have these kind of offensive players.
Right.
You got too many guys like Dick Vitale or Chris Fowler trying to drive, you're in trouble. Now if they have Mike Patrick, they'll be okay.
Oh, sure. Ewing in and out. Williams offensive rebound.
That's a big-time rebound. You can't let that happen when you're down 6 with less than 6 on the clock. You got to be able to check out on that foul line.
And that wasn't like a ball that bounced 3 feet off the rim either. That was just a normal missed free throw. Desire on the part of Sheldon Williams.
Got to be able to focus.
Crunch time for Maryland. That means Gilchrist. Who else?
It's Gilchrist time. Johnny G, baby. They're going to start calling him Johnny G.
Gilchrist with 17 points. He's been brilliant the entire tournament. 16, 30, and 17 in 3 games. Another opening for Ewing.
Wide open.
Reddick. Good night.
Wide open. That's good night because they gave help. That's the one time they gave help. And he had an open look. And he drilled the jumper. Oh, the jumper with Joy and Durham, baby. The Cameron crazy's going bananas.
J.J. Reddick with his first 3-point field goal in 7 tries.
They made the mistake. Thou shalt not give help. Thou shalt not give help is the commandment when you play Duke. See the help? 2 guys on the ball. Ewing spots that, kicks it out, and JJ says, I finally get an open look.
And Duke, which had not led the entire game in the first half, is now up by 10, their biggest margin. First half, Reddick 1 out of 8 from the floor, starting to heat up at just the right time for Mike Krzyzewski and company.
And what a great effort by the kids out of Maryland. You got a 10-point differential, and it's really not indicative of how close this game has been. The Terps have come to play and will be tough. I'm telling you, the ACC is going to be well represented in the Big East. I mean, in the tournament.
Does Gilchrist have another couple of miracles left?
Is he in relation to Cookie Gilchrist? Wasn't he a great football player?
He was a great football player. McRae just made a horrible mistake and lost the ball out of bounds.
Big, strong running back, a fullback. Did he play up in Buffalo?
Played in Buffalo. He was a monster.
See, I'm not one-dimensional, Mike. I want to sit next to you, Theismann, and your buddy, Mr. McGuire. You guys have so much fun. You do a great job. 1 for 6, Maryland.
It's a little crowded up there already, Dick. Too hot.
Can't let him go right to the rack. He goes right to the rack. They're really taking over with their driving game.
Duke's penetration right now is killing the Terps' chances.
Good timeout by Gary Williams. He's got to be frustrated. Nobody stopped the basketball. That's the rule. You must stop the basketball. Look at Reddick right now. Give me the ball. He wants the ball. He knows he's open. Look at him. He wants the ball. He can't believe there's nobody on him. There's nobody on him. He says, get me the ball, but they don't see him. Duan goes right to the goal. You cannot give help off that kid. You have to stay home and play him tough in his face. You can't allow him open looks.
74 to 62. Neither team in the bonuses yet. The possession arrow would favor Maryland. But with Duke's ability to spread the court, the Terps are going to have to hit on most of their possessions right now. And you could have seen the frustration on Gilchrist's face after that last series of plays. He gave up the ball. One of his teammates lost it out of bounds. He's not going to want to give it up down the stretch.
They don't have any timeouts either. They had to use them all, and I don't blame Gary trying to stop the unbelievable runs of Duke.
No, I think those are great uses of time.
Yes, sir.
Gilchrist, pull-up three. Some people might say that's a bad shot. I don't blame him at all. He knows he's the only one out there who's going to make a difference right now.
Second half, Duke shooting 67%. Had a brilliant second half yesterday against a good Georgia Tech team. Now they go to their 2-3 offensive set. Tough to catch them when they're up 12 with this scenario. They go to that 2-3, open up the court.
Duhan for three, off target. Kaner Medley with a rebound. Every possession now dear for Maryland. Smith left alone from 16. And Sheldon Williams hustles for another rebound.
What a strong second half he had. He had a really non-first half, was passive, got in foul trouble.
11 points, 11 boards, another double-double for Sheldon Williams. He leads the ACC in that category.
I ask you, you cast the ballot for MVP. Do you go with the second-place team, Gilchrist, or do you go with Sheldon Williams, who's been brilliant?
He's been terrific, but I think Gilchrist has got to win the MVP. He's the reason Maryland is here. Duhan has it blocked. Maryland's still alive. They're down by 12.
They need a big three.
Kaner Medley down the lane. Got it. No call, and a good no call.
Right down the lane. Kaner Medley, who's also capable of making a three.
He pulled up enough so there wasn't a lot of contact, even though Reddick went down.
These kids got a lot of guts and heart. All you had to do is reflect to yesterday, Maryland. They're going to battle the last three. See Duke, everybody extended, foul line extended, trying to get you to extend defensively, get a layup, get a little isolation, a drive.
Duhan got by Gilchrist, great block by Garrison.
Nice drive.
Smith, oh, what a pretty play by Jamar Smith.
I'm telling you, Mike, he has gotten better and better in his senior year. He's made himself a legitimate pro candidate.
It's only 8 now.
These kids don't quit, man. There's no quitting them. They reflect that coach.
Smith has a game-high 18.
What's that saying? A quit never wins and a winner never quits.
Ewing got by McCray, then missed the shot.
Didn't convert. They were converting those earlier.
What a pass! Then Gilchrist gets his own, gets the rebound and draws the foul. John Gilchrist just made a remarkable play. Made the perfect pass to Smith. He missed it, and Gilchrist just busted his fanny to get down there and get the ball.
See, if I'm Coach K, I call a timeout right now. This baby's starting to get a little tight. I think you need a little break in the action. Look at the offensive rebound. That's a guard, man. A hungry, tough, tenacious player. I'd vote for him as well for MVP.
Ewing picks up his third.
They were down 12. He's got it to 8.
Gilchrist hits the free throw. Has he had a sensational ACC tournament? As Mike Jones, the freshman sharpshooter, comes in for Garrison. Gilchrist, 18 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. Another typical game in this ACC tournament.
It's been a great, great 3 days. Actually 4.
Too strong. Jones, offensive rebound. Blocked by the landlord. But a foul against Duke.
I'm surprised no timeout by Duke. I really am, Mike. I'm surprised they haven't gotten a timeout.
Who picked up the foul? Reddick. That's his third.
Gilchrist back at that free throw line. Went to the Maryland basketball camp at age 10. Got himself an MVP award at 10, Gary said. And little did he know that everybody got a trophy.
Gilchrist has hit 2 of 3. The lead is 7.
They start recruiting these guys. I mean, they go to camps at age 10.
He'll get one more. 74-68.
Down to a 2-possession game right now. Reddick's got his 3rd foul.
We have never seen a tournament this good, game after game after game. It has been unbelievable.
And the scores haven't been 49-45 or 52-50. It's been with some high action, with some brilliant coaching from that guy right there, Mr. Williams, and the guy down the road, the Hall of Famer, Coach K.
In Atlanta, the Kentucky Wildcats a minute 47 away from yet another SEC championship. And up next, right here, 2 heavyweights in the Big 12.
Game's going to be great, right? Let's play straight up. Let's not hold. Let's not push. Respond to us when we talk to you, just like we did yesterday. You guys are outstanding, right?
Scott Thornley playing the role of Mills Lane in one corner, Texas, and the other Oklahoma State. Up next on ESPN High Def. Mike, Dick?
I like the Mills Lane reference. That's good, Chris.
He's a judge now. Mills Lane, wow.
74-69, Duke by 5. Blue Devil basketball, 2:20 left.
Well, you know, Duke wants to get the ball in the hands of Reddick as much as possible. Get him to the free throw line.
Maryland has gone on a 7-0 run and another steal.
Bad play by Duhan. He was up in the air. That's a no-no. Seniors got to know better.
Jones was smart, got it to Gilchrist.
Like I told you, when they were down 12, they're not going away because of this guy's toughness. He's so tenacious, John Gilchrist.
Smith, who's had a big game. Trying to drive, pulls up over Williams. Too strong. Deng with a rebound.
Big rebound by Deng. There's a
good defense by Sheldon Williams. And boy, they have been key. And Duhan playing with very sore ribs.
Duhan with 12, Gilchrist with 20.
Duke working on the clock.
Trying to isolate on the wings for a drive. They want it in his hands. They want to get him to the free throw line. Maryland wants to keep him off the line.
11 on the shot clock. It'll be up to Ewing.
Managing that clock.
Got away from McCray as McCray thought he'd go around the screen. Missed the shot. Loose ball. Deng is fouled.
I'll tell you, Deng really worked hard to create that foul opportunity. Kept the ball alive. Attacked the ball.
Number 13, Chris McCray.
You know, they can be aggressive right now, Maryland. They've only had 4 fouls, team fouls. They can afford to give up a foul.
That was their 5th. So they have 1 to give before you shoot the bonus. And really, you need to give it as soon as possible.
Well, see, take time off that clock.
Dick, they're down by 5. I don't think they can afford to do this.
Exactly, I agree.
And Kaner Medley will come out and commit the personal.
Next one there in the bonus.
16
That's
fouls.
6. Now they have to foul again, I think, quickly, because it's a new 35-second shot clock. Send him to the line and hope it works.
Yep. Duke smartly puts the ball quickly in the hands of Reddick.
Got to double team him and make him give it up. He's going to steal it. Gilchrist did and got it to Kaner Medley. He's fouled.
What a great play by Gilchrist. Not only to steal, but giving up the rock the way he did and Medley attacking the glass.
Gilchrist has been absolutely brilliant.
Well, you don't turn your back. As soon as you turn your back, see right there, as soon as he turned his back, he stripped him. That's a no-no. Offensively, you got to know that as a player, especially against a trapping team. You don't turn your back.
How did he keep his balance after the contact? Kaner Medley 0 for 1 from the line, only 4 points. Big free throw. Now here's pressure on a kid, Dick. Only had 4 points in the second game yesterday, the 4th foul on Williams. You haven't scored.
And that's what they did there.
Way too.
Gets down to free throw shooting right now, buddy. No matter if you convert free throws, you win. If you don't, you got a long day. Look at those 2 heavyweights coming up. Oklahoma State and Texas. Sutton versus Barnes. Bhutan's been on fire, but so has Allen and Lucas.
And that was the 5th foul on McCray. He will come out of the ballgame 9 points and 4 rebounds. We said earlier what a great tournament it has been. Let's take a look at some of the moments from the ACC. Five in a row for the Duke Blue Devils. The best ever had been North Carolina with 3 in a row. Duke today goes for its 6th. They're up by 4. Less than a minute to go. Both teams in the 1-and-1. Maryland with no timeouts, but the possession arrow, which may be the most important of all of those, belongs to Maryland. Williams 3 out of 4. That one spins out. Maryland still alive.
Got to take advantage of it right now. Smith's really been attacked. A little 2-man game. Gilchrist and Smith. There it is. Smith.
Oh, he missed it. Somehow got it back and gets the foul.
I'll tell you, he deserved that too, because he really went after that rebound. Little 2-man game. Gilchrist and Smith. I tell you, tell these kids that these tournaments aren't important. These kids play their hearts out, man.
Right.
And it gets you ready for the NCAAs. I saw it last night, a little bit of Pittsburgh, Connecticut game at Big East formed years ago by Dave Gavitt. I miss those guys. Seeing Gavitts and Gene Corrigan, so vital to college basketball for years.
Dick, this is a tough situation for Smith. He's under 45% all year long as a free throw shooter. He had hit his previous two. But it's really the last guy you want to go to the line.
Well, he missed 2 in a row now. Kaner Medley missed the previous one. He missed that. You're down 4 with 43 ticks on the clock. You got to convert on that free throw line.
Smith, 8 out of 12 in the tournament, well above his season's average. Hits this. It is a one-possession game.
And there goes the full-court trap. And immediately there's the foul.
Good move by Gary Williams. Puts Mike Grennan in the game to commit the foul.
Every game in this tournament has been an absolute mail-out smasher, basically.
Even the 10-point game between Duke and Virginia was close for the longest time, and you always seem to have the feeling that Virginia was going to make a run and have a shot at it.
And they played so hard, those kids. Nice little nucleus they possess down there. Peter Gillen's club, young. Duhan on the line, veteran, my choice. I'm telling you, Derek Jeter all over this guy, winning.
First time at the line today and hits a huge free throw.
Trying to win his 120th game in 4 years at Duke. That's an average of 30 a year. Like Jeter has 4 rings, world title. This kid is a guy that knows a little bit about an ACC tournament title. Said, I want to win one for Luol Deng.
1 out of 2.
Got to get a quick deuce here. Again, I'd play 2-man basketball. Gilchrist and Smith.
Jones out of the corner. The freshman hits a huge three.
One of the biggest threes he'll ever hit. Came in with a reputation as a shooter.
Mike Jones has been invisible in this tournament.
Whoa, you don't want that pass under the basket.
They fouled Deng with 27.9 seconds to go. Mike Jones got off to a huge start this year. He looked like he was a budding star and then disappeared. What a way to come back.
Well, he came out with a big reputation out of high school. There's the lock. That's his first shot today, Mike. That's his first attempt today off the bench, and there's the trifecta. I'll tell you, do they reflect Gary Williams? There's no quit, man. This guy is one heck of a coach in the unbelievable passion that he pours out to his team. In fact, his point guard, John Gilchrist, says, I play for a legend, man. I play for a legend that's not going to allow us to quit.
Nick Kaner Medley has just fouled out of the ball game, and you see the Wake Forest fan holding up the sign, hey, you beat us, don't let that loss be in vain, we're rooting for you now. Kaner Medley, who really struggled offensively throughout this tournament, goes to the bench with his 5th foul, but it is a one-point game. Even if Deng makes both free throws, Maryland could tie with a 3. This has been the most remarkable tournament we've had the pleasure to do.
Maryland's in the final now, Mike, for the 4th time since 81. 81, 84, 2000 they were in the final. 84 they won it.
Deng is 2 for 5 from the free throw line on the season. He's a 72% shooter. This is huge.
They won it the last time, Maryland, 1984. The lefty Giselle with Teddy Bias. No time
14 points, 14 rebounds for Deng. The Terps need a 3.
Got to play up on the three-point shooters.
Gilchrist goes in.
And he got fouled. He got fouled. Incredible try. It's been the Gilchrist show. He's been a PTP, the 3S man. Super scintillating, sensational. Oh, watch his drive down the lane. There he goes, and it's the 5th foul, I believe. And it's the 5th on Williams. If it goes to overtime, advantage Maryland.
When they get back to College Park, somebody ought to start building a statue of John Gilchrist.
I tell you, he wanted to build a name for himself. Is he kidding me? You think he has a name? The name is Gilchrist, Gilchrist, Gilchrist. And it's not Cookie, it's John, baby. He wants his name known, everybody. Let me hear you at home say, John Gilchrist, John Gilchrist.
Sheldon Williams is gone. Gilchrist has scored 22 points in the 3 games in the ACC tournament. He has 16, 30, His 23rd would tie this game with 20.3 seconds left.
He's got press row laughing. My guy Bill Rhoden is laughing from the New York Times hysterically. Everybody on press row can't believe what they're seeing.
Gilchrist for the tie.
I'll tell you,
this is unbelievable.
Right now, you got to go for the last shot. You got to spread the court. You got to try a drive by Duhan.
Williams is out. You've got Ewing, Duhan, and Reddick on the perimeter. Deng inside with Horvath. Duhan, the senior, to Reddick.
We're going overtime. Advantage Maryland without Sheldon Williams. Isn't it fitting that the ACC tournament now is coming to overtime?
We said this might be the best ACC tournament of all time. And it comes down to this, and now we get 5 more minutes for free. Right now, for those of you in Texas and Oklahoma, we're going to take you out to the Big 12 Championship between Texas and Oklahoma State. We will, of course, keep you up to date on the finish here in Greensboro. For those of you staying with us, we'll update you on that game until we get you back to Greensboro once we're done here. 5 minutes on the clock in overtime. Maryland was down 74-62 with 3.5 minutes to go. And remember, they had the biggest comeback in ACC tournament history yesterday. This may have been more impressive. Down to Duke in the championship game with 3.5 minutes left. They make up 12.
Down 12. But remember, at that time, Mike, we said as long as Gilchrist was on the floor, there'll be no quit in this team, that they would hang. And he made one big play after another. I don't think there's any doubt he's the MVP of the tournament. Now the big question is for Duke, how do they regroup without Sheldon Williams, who committed the 5th foul on the drive by Gilchrist? This is incredible, but this is causing me a nightmare. I got to be in the studio at 7 o'clock. How am I going to get there?
We may still be playing at 7 o'clock. Wow. You never know.
Maybe they can hold my seat for me. I might be there about 9:30.
McCray and Kaner Medley have fouled out for Maryland. Williams has fouled out for Duke. It may be a war of attrition. Smith and Deng will jump center.
You get an extra timeout. Maryland was without timeouts. Go to the overtime period. Now you get a timeout.
This game's been beyond belief.
It's been incredible. One great play. It's been an entire tournament showing us spectacular plays.
Ewing off balance. He's fouled by Jones. Look at this at the end of regulation. Gilchrist.
He took advantage of a switch there. He ended up having Williams play at him, and he took him right to the goal with his quickness.
Gilchrist then hit the free throw to tie it at 77.
He has become a star. What a growing-up period of time for John Gilchrist.
Duke shooting only 50% from the free throw line. Ewing hits that one. The last year's MVP in this tournament. Ewing had a brilliant opening round game with 26.
Next year, the tournament will be in Washington, D.C.
At the MCI Center.
Yes, sir. Leaves here. Gary Williams has been really working hard to make that happen. They're going to alternate in the state of Carolina and other places now on the sites.
Duke with a 2-point lead. There's Smith and Gilchrist working together again. Smith now against Horvath. Nice block by Horvath.
Great play defensively because they are now exclusively going to a two-man game, Gilchrist and Smith. And I don't blame Gary Williams.
No, I don't either.
He's trying to milk those two guys right down the stretch. Block shots, Duke with a 2-to-1 ratio.
Ewing lost it. Brennan picks it off.
Brennan getting a lot of playing time.
He's the only survivor from that 2002 Maryland National Championship team.
I'll tell you one thing, Gilchrist really wants that ball.
Missed the 3. That should be a foul inside against Duke. Horvath thought he got away with a push-off, but did not. That's 4 on Horvath.
Carl Hess with the call on the inside, trying to get a little edge by shoving him
Boy, I think these officials have done a nice job today.
I really do. When you think about the kind of quickness and the athleticism on that floor, the pace of the game.
And
the
two
intensity.
Coaches who can work you as good as anybody.
Anybody, man. They can work you with the best.
Way short.
That could be
Garrison.
fatigue right there. That could be a little fatigue.
Yep.
Didn't get his legs into it. Remember, as a shooter out there, young people, you got to utilize those legs.
Boy, Garrison's had a good tournament scoring, too.
Came out strong early in his game.
Got the second one. It's a 1-point margin. 17 for Garrison today. 16 the first game. Only 4 yesterday in the semifinals, though.
Now Duke playing again without any inside game.
Redick went up to try to take the shot, then saves it to Ewing, but he stepped on the sideline.
Ball slipped out of his hands. He was getting up ready to shoot the three.
He had gotten away from Grinnan, went up, and that ball just, whoops.
He's trying to come out. He steps out of bounds before making contact with the ball.
You could see his feet were so close to the
line.
barrier there, and once you get that close to the barrier, you're over the line.
Right now, Duke, again, I think it was big with Williams getting that 5th foul because they are so limited offensively on the interior. They have now become a one-dimensional offensive team. He's got contact with the ball, and he's out of bounds.
Boy, that's awful close.
Fisher's
I don't know. I don't know if that foot came down before he hit it or not.
Fisher's standing right there. I'm going to give him the benefit.
You're a former coach, and you're agreeing with an official?
Yeah, tonight I'm agreeing this afternoon. These guys have done one heck of a job. There's the 3 Zebras working hard. Take a look right here. He's right there, the official. Is the foot down?
No. No, he was not out of bounds.
Yeah,
I do not
right.
believe. I really don't even think it was that close. And I don't know what the official discussion was. They're adjusting the clock.
Time on the clock.
Because that's not reviewable.
No, you're not going to review whether he stepped out of bounds, but you can review the utilization of the clock.
The lead is won with 3:50 to go in the game.
Duhan's got his hands full trying to check this dude, man. This guy has been too much all afternoon.
Smith against Horvath, who's working with 4 fouls. Leaned in, and Horvath is gone if that's 5 on him.
That's a big advantage. That's a mismatch inside. The advantage strongly goes to the experience of Smith. He's played all year.
And the quickness.
And the quickness as well. And the versatility. He's got a variety of moves on the inside and scoring.
So Horvath, one of the big bodies they have inside to replace Williams, who fouled out, fouls out himself. 2 points, 5 rebounds for Joe Horvath. And now the only big guy they have left is Shavlik Randolph.
And Randolph's got to come in and give him positive minutes. He has a tendency at times to get a little tentative, but certainly has the ability. Horvath fouling out, played hard. Now it's up to Shavlik Randolph. McDonald's High School All-American, highly rated coming out of high school, out of Raleigh.
Almost 24,000 people in this arena. Nobody has left, and you can only imagine what it cost to get a ticket, and it's been worth every cent of it.
Give a standing ovation to both teams. Kids are playing their hearts out.
Smith short on the free throw.
And you're short like that, it's usually attributed to your legs, that you're not getting your legs into your shot.
He has hit 3 out of 5, 19 points, 10 boards.
Got to bend and flex those legs, man. You got to get that legs. Got to get those legs in there. See,
short again.
No legs.
Offensive rebound to Jones. He's made a couple of huge plays.
And there it is. The loss of Williams has really hurt them on the inside.
Gary Williams calls out the play he wants. Gilchrist guarded by Ewing. Smith against Randolph. Hit the side of the back. Basket support off of Duke, out of bounds to Maryland.
Maryland getting every loose ball and getting breaks because they're creating the break with their hustle. Duke standing around a little bit now. Look at the bench watching. You got too many assistant coaches there. He doesn't need all those guys. He needs Sheldon on the floor.
Smith, baseline. Partially blocked. He made it anyway.
He is determined. He wants the ball. He knows he's got the advantage with his superb quickness.
He has 21 points and Maryland back on top.
Took advantage of his quickness.
Dang, there's a silly reach-in foul.
I tell you, you're going to like Smith wanting the basketball. He knows he's got the advantage on the inexperienced checking him. Right now, he knows he's quicker than Randolph and just goes right by him and scores. Lays it on the glass. You gotta like kids that want the rock. So many guys disappear at the end of the game. They don't want no part of possibly. I think one of the biggest ruinations in life with anything is fear of failure.
Dang is only 3 out of 7 from the line. It was the 4th foul on Garrison. What an incredible ball game this has been, capping a remarkable weekend.
Can't be afraid of failing, man.
Missed them both. Brennan with the rebound, but stepped on the baseline.
Duke gets a break right there. That's a credit. Watch there now.
Just a toe on the line. How cruel is that?
Dang comes up empty on that free throw line. Screen by Randolph. Could be called for a moving screen.
Ewing, a real floater. The tip won't go.
I tell you right now, command has gone to Maryland. There is no doubt about it. You can see it in their step.
Gilchrist against Duhan. A brilliant matchup the entire game. Reach in by Deng. He stole it and bounced it off his foot out of bounds. Guys are trying so hard to make plays. They've got to be so tired right now.
Remember this, will it be 6 consecutive ACC titles for the Duke Blue Devils? Or will Maryland end that, baby?
Dick, the fatigue factor, this is the end of 3 days, probably the only time all year where they play 3 games in a row. Now we're in overtime in a game between bitter foes.
A lot of emotion, a lot of intensity.
Gilchrist, what a move to hit it!
Not bothering him.
You must be kidding.
Not bothering him, baby.
John Gilchrist, the MVP of this tournament, has 25.
Not bothering him. He's got his legs in it. Plenty of time to rest tomorrow.
Ewing backs up, takes a 3, spins out.
And look who's got the rebound. Let's give it to Gilchrist. That's smart, Mr. Smith. Just put it in his hand.
Gilchrist had it, handed it to Smith. Smith handed it right back.
Duke's got to come up with a stop.
Under 2 minutes to go. Jones, the freshman, down the lane, lost it. Brennan went up, had it blocked. Maryland fans wanted a foul, didn't get it.
Can't get any looks inside. Everything's the perimeter for Duke. He's made so many big shots all year long. All year long. He's a winner.
Whenever they have needed the critical basket, Chris Duhan has been there.
We don't want to go home, Mike. Let's stay here all afternoon. We'll watch the selection show here. Nothing but that.
An update from Dallas in the Big 12 championship game. Oklahoma State off to the fast start. This is Joey Graham, their fine guard, delivering the mid-range jumper. Cowboys playing good defense. The lead is 7. We'll keep you posted, guys. Back to you.
All right, Chris, we're watching an extra act of great theater here in Greensboro. Tied at overtime, 82-82, a minute 45 to go. Is it going to be Gilchrist again? Duhan again? Somebody else? Gilchrist, 25 points, 6 boards, 6 assists.
They got Deng now checking. Size differential right here. They got Deng checking right now on Smith.
Smith goes in against Randolph and draws the foul on Shavlik Randolph.
He really wants the ball. He knows they got nobody out there that really can check him right now. On that baseline, with Williams out of the game, Horvath out of the game, and he wants the basketball, and they are so smart going into him, showing good basketball IQ.
And Smith would love to have had that field goal gone in because he's only 3 out of 6 from the line. Now 3 out of 7 all year long. He's been around 44%. Maryland as a team may have 4 or 5 more wins this year if they could just shoot free throws.
Well, you know, Mike, you're 100% right, is that he's got to score on that deuce because he's such a liability on the free throw line.
He's missed his last 3 hits. That it's a 1-point game.
Spreading the court right now. Again, Duke in a situation with dribble penetration off the screen. No post game.
Duhan gets a double screen, kicks it off to the side. Ewing for 3. Short. Maryland ball. I think that foul will be on Deng over the back.
It was on Luol Deng from the weak side. They're really limited rebounding right now as well.
He's the only one of their front court players that doesn't have 4 fouls or already on the bench.
It is really tough to play when you don't have balance to your offensive system. As the balance sitting on the sideline in foul trouble. I mean, fouling out of the game.
Here's Garrison, who is a good free throw shooter, 72%, 4 out of 6 today. Maryland by 1. If he hits them both, Could be a 3-point lead for the Terps.
Yeah, he's got good touch. He came out early and really was on fire early in this game.
Holy cow, what a game.
It's unbelievable, incredible, the entire tournament. I mean, they want that gold trophy so badly. They were certainly not just content getting to the final with that emotional, dramatic win yesterday after being down 19.
Garrison, 2 clutch free throws. The lead is 3.
This is a big-time possession for Duke right now. Pressure beginning to mount. They can't get Redick free. He's just standing stationary. Got to set a screen and get him a jump shot.
Got some good 3-point shooters in there. Duhan Ewing trying to penetrate, and he lost it out of bounds.
Duke right now really struggling. You can see they are struggling. They don't have a rhythm at all to their offensive game. There's the little bump. He wants the bump call. The ball comes off his leg. Mike Krzyzewski wants a foul prior to the ball going out of bounds.
This is how we got to this point as we called it in the moment. The Terps need a 3.
Got to play up on the 3-point shooters.
Gilchrist goes in.
He got fouled. We'll try. It's been the Gilchrist show.
How many of those can we have in this game? There's been one after the other.
I tell you, Maryland in great command right now, Mike. They are in command. They got the personnel they really like, basically. They're up 3. They got the ball. Got less than a minute on the clock.
Well, Duke will certainly challenge their ability to shoot free throws. You can bet on that. And Grinnan is fouled.
He's running down. I like that. He's running right to the foul line. He's running to the line.
Mike Grinnan all year has shot 4 free throws. He's made 2. How's that for pressure?
I like the idea that he's sprinting right to the line.
Really well, at least he remembered where it was.
Yeah, exactly.
He played on Maryland's 2002 National Championship team. The only one left, and what a gutsy shot.
I tell you, he's sprinting right to that foul line.
And how about Gary Williams? I've done 5 of the games. I haven't seen Grinnan all year long. He's played a lot of minutes in this game.
Exactly.
Maybe Gary sensed something about this young man.
He made the right call. He pushed the right button. There's trouble right now for the Duke games.
Down 2 possessions. Duhan. Nice reverse.
Smart play, attacking the basket, get the reduce it to a 1-possession game.
Duhan has 18. The lead is 3. I'm going to be selfish about this. I want to see this keep going.
You want to go on? I agree with you. Let's keep going and going and going.
The last time Maryland won the ACC Tournament Championship will take you back to 1984.
Coleman taking the shot. Coleman said nobody's getting back to this game. Triple team. Gatlin, here's Bias wide open. That probably put it away. Maryland finally winning one for Lefty Brazil.
Lefty won his first with the great Len Bias.
I did that game with Jim Simpson, Hall of Famer Jim Simpson, a great guy. I remember doing that game, and then he put that trophy on his car. He said, I'm going to ride around Tobacco Road.
I had the luxury of doing it for Jefferson Pilot. It was unbelievable. Reach in foul. Jones will go to the line. Now, Maryland's job is to keep the ball in the hands of their best free throw shooters, and certainly Jones is a guy that's got a great stroke. He's 76% on the year, but he's a freshman.
He came in with a big-time reputation as a shooter. That was his reputation. He made a big 3. Made the biggest 3 of his freshman year today. This afternoon, I'm going to tell you, he has to be a hero with that 3 that he knocked down.
He's had 1 free throw and missed it on the day. Maryland's last 5 points have come from the free throw line. In and out, back in again.
He got the roll his way. Shooters normally do.
42.1 left, a 2-possession game. Jones will try to make it a 5-point lead.
Same scenario again. You got to attack the basket. If he converts this, try to get it again to a one-possession game. Don't need a three.
Boy, the concern is written on those faces. Basket and the foul. Duhan, who else?
You don't want to foul there, though.
No.
Give him the layup, but you don't want to foul.
And Gary Williams immediately turned around and just shook his head at the entire Maryland bench saying, we can't.
Yeah, you don't want to foul here. He goes up strong to the basket. Defense rotates over. You stop the clock, put him on the line.
And it was the guy who hasn't made a mistake this weekend. It was Gilchrist.
Clock stops in the last minute. But the bottom line is you don't want to put him on the line. Now they can get an alignment after the free throw. Defensively.
Duhan for a 3-point play. Been clutch his entire career.
And right now, there's going to be a quick foul again.
Gilchrist grabbed by Dockery. And with 33.3 seconds to go, Maryland will troop back to the line.
Look at the shoulders up, man. He's walking down there. Mom and Dad looking on. He's going to walk right down to that foul line. He said, I want the ball. Are you kidding me? I'm making a name for myself, as he told the Zebra. He told Mr. Hess, all I'm trying to do is make a name. He says, you're showing him, man. You're showing him.
Maryland's hit its last 7 free throws. The 51st annual ACC tournament started with an overtime game on Thursday night. It will end Sunday afternoon with another overtime game for the championship. And Gilchrist, who has been so brilliant the entire weekend, hits another free throw. 26 for John Gilchrist.
I'll tell you, they've done a great job of keeping the ball away from J.J. Redick and getting any three-point looks.
Right.
Defensively, in the overtime, he has not had a look at the three.
In and out on the second one, it's a 3-point
now,
game.
J.J. Redick's the guy they got to find.
Or Ewing. Gilchrist with a rebound, and he'll just hang on to this one as long as he can. Gets it to Smith.
That's the guy you want to
get rid of it.
He's the guy you want to foul.
Smith did a poor job. He needed to get rid of that basketball to somebody else who you wanted to send to the free throw line.
Who got the shot they would like to get from Ewing on
Sure
that
did.
wing. Certainly Ewing or Redick, they would like to get the three-point opportunity, and he had an open look.
18.5 seconds to go. I'm just exhausted. I don't know about you. This
I'm
has been
exhausted.
unbelievable.
I'm wiped out, and I got to think about a 3-hour show yet tonight.
I'll watch it.
I know. It's maybe overtime for that one.
And Shavlik Randolph has
Fouled
just
out.
fouled out of the ball game. So here's what you have for Duke. Sheldon Williams goes out. The two guys that they have to play inside for him, Horvath and Randolph, have both fouled
Well,
out.
now you play all guards. Basically, Deng becomes their big player.
And here comes Lee Melchione in the ball game. He got some minutes over the weekend.
You got to
but
give
not
credit.
many.
Got to give credit to Maryland, man. Down 12, showing a lot of heart and guts to be able to come back against a team that looked like they were starting to style and strut and get that 6th consecutive title. And these kids in Maryland, led by number 11, Mr. Gilchrist, just would not let it happen.
Really reminds you of the way Maryland played during the NCAA Championship Series. And Smith, who had been Brick City lately, comes to the line and drains that. He's 5 out of 9. Now it's a 4-point game.
And Gary Williams has emphatically just said, don't foul.
5-point lead.
He looked good there. He looked good there. The 2 biggest wins of his life. Oh, man, will he be a big man down there on campus? He'll go to the Green Turtle. He'll go to Bentley's. And he'll be a hero on campus.
We said at the beginning of this tournament it could be the best out ever. I will guarantee you it has. Let's go to Chris Fowler.
All right, Mike, update from the Big 12 in Dallas, where Oklahoma State is absolutely smothering Texas here. Tony Allen, the lob dunk. They're hitting perimeter shots. This is Joey Graham knocking down a triple. Texas 11 points in about 12 minutes.
You know, Mike, people laughed when I said any one of 7 teams could win this tournament. Certainly you look at Maryland as the 6th seed. I mean, this tournament, look at him bending his knees now all of a sudden. He's starting to flex those knees, bends them a little bit, stretches out, extends, gets that nice touch. And the bench loves it. Oh, they love it. They love it.
And Maryland has scored its last 10 points from the free throw line. That's clutch for these kids.
No question. Big time clutch.
Melchione will try a long-range shot. Doesn't hit it. Jones with a rebound, 10.2, and that might do it.
Gary Williams going to add to his resume an ACC championship to a national championship trophy. And remember, at the end of the year, to show you the strength of this conference, there was talk they would not make the tournament. They had to beat NC State at NC State, had to beat Virginia at home just to get back in the picture. They came here, won a tough game over Wake Forest, tough game over North Carolina State, and a tough game over Duke.
Well, they win 87-86 over Wake in the quarterfinals. They beat NC State 85-82 after the biggest comeback in ACC tournament history, and now they're knocking off the regular season champion in the championship game, and that did it.
Let me tell you this, they are not going to meet in the journey to get to the Sweet 16 what they had to meet in this tournament. They have met 3 nationally ranked clubs that can really flat out play, and they have earned the title. And it became the leader set the table, Mr. Gilchrist, who should be the MVP.
3.2 seconds to go, and the foul, and Gary Williams can finally smile. Boy, did he earn it this weekend.
They are stunned. I think the Duke people are stunned. They are shocked. They normally, as you look right there,
Well, how old is that young boy? What, is he 5?
I know.
All he has ever seen is Duke win the ACC Championship. If he's 5, they won 5 in a row. This is a new experience in his life.
This conference, what a tournament.
John Gilchrist, mom and dad looking on as Smith is applying the icing.
I mean, who would have thought this when they were down 19 and a half yesterday?
Nobody.
Against North Carolina State. Let the celebration begin on a sea of red.
Gary Williams and Mike Krzyzewski, longtime combatants, and what a celebration for the Maryland Terrapins. Maryland outscored Duke 18-10 in overtime. Smith had 25. Gilchrist had 26. Gilchrist was brilliant, Dick, for the entire weekend. He was the PTP, the primetime performer, the MVP. Absolutely played brilliantly. He was the extension of Gary Williams on that court with an unbelievable, tenacious mental attitude. Let's go to Mark Jones. He has Gary Williams.
All right, guys. Gary Williams congratulating the Duke players. Coach, how did your team possibly summon up the energy that you displayed in this 3-game run?
Oh, we can always play today on adrenaline. I've always felt that. You can play one game, it doesn't matter. And that's what we did today. We were tired, but, I think Duke had the pressure on them because they had the streak on of 5 consecutive championships, which I don't think you'll ever see again in this league.
John Gilchrist tied it up with a 3-point play at 77-all. Was that the play of the game in your mind?
Well, that's what we had to do. What we were trying to do there is just good, too. But John was good enough to get some contact, and so we were able to tie it up there. We still had time to try to steal the inbounds pass or foul, so we were just going for 2, but John made a great play to get a 3-point play.
Great contribution from your bench. Jones, Brennan.
Brennan, he's the guy, man. He's played hard every day in practice. It doesn't usually work out that way. It was great.
Last of all, did you ever consider doing situational subbing for Jamar when he was struggling at the free throw line?
He's been shooting well the last 2 weeks, so he's our senior. He's got to make them.
Youth was served, Coach. Congratulations.
Thank you.
20 years since they last won it, guys. Right here. Back to you.
Mark, Maryland beat the number 3, then the number 2, then the number 1 seed to win it for the first time in 20 years. For Mark Jones and Dick Vitale and our entire ESPN crew, this is Mike Patrick. Thanks for watching, everybody. Now to the Big 12 Championship, and here's Ron Franklin.